mremu nsɛm a ɛkɔ so ɛwɔ ɔman yi mu ɛfa ɔman no sikasɛm ɛnhyehyɛeɛ yɛn nso yɛde bi to yɛtirim na nkanka yɛdi nkɔmmɔ wɔ abɔnten a na nnɛ awia yi yɛaba aba abɛhyia mu ɛwɔ ha meda obi biara sɛ yɛto nsa frɛ mo matumi aba mɛsrɛ na magyae kasamu no ɛde ama me nua Gordon asare bɛde ako na ɔno ɛde nea ɛwɔ hɔ no atoa so meda mo ase.
Abusafo bedo we biase say motimi abadwone na say de nipa besi abre ne bidi mu ane de yabre yeda mo ase say monye ho abotre na we may be streaming live on YouTube and Facebook, but what I have to say, I will say it because we came from Winnipeg just last week. We were expecting around 200 people. When we did the head count, we had about 485 people in attendance in Winnipeg. And here we are. I don't want to place judgment on it. I leave it to the conscience of people, conscience of people who are in charge of the region and the constituency and whatever. The regional minister, at least about 3 hours ago, by 8 a.m., maybe I bet Nasi and Yahuan but trying to know. You better must say, Abusafo, ye media person, ABC. Now, your mandate near me is to inform, educate, and then entertain. Now, if you draw about to say, na who be here say, you bet church and what the nation they say. You can't see state of the economy now, and never bend the woman, I'd say, Quacoyan Quine. Never bend the young quine, you bet the home combo. A bear man catch was a wood day at to see the in the bay, a bear than us or bad in our bitty. And you tell politicians now for so many years. Now, a breast of the academics no. Now, much say, what is the true state of the economy? Yes, I tell you, I cry. Yaku Kumasi, Yakubi Niba. Now, a woman being here say, Sunyani so. Now, it is uncle one Abba. It's an Yabe, Yamicha, the regional minister Ankasa. Now, what an irony. Greater Accra, na regional minister Niho. Ashanti region, na regional minister Niho. Central regional minister Niho. But the attendance in Greater Accra, Ashanti region and Central. Na eswitching friend Bono, yeah, regional minister was it. I think we should be very honored to have in our midst the regional minister with a lot of people in attendance, but it is what it is. It's regional minister Pacho, Yamisha. You better was papa. Na you be fro. Na one me akwaba. We are near yin penny for and then be the actually. Yeah, that's minister. Pacho first like a say minister.
All right. So once more, good afternoon. And you are all welcome, especially those of us who are traveling from outside our region. It is an honor to always be part of such forum and for us to also participate fully. So eminent economists, members of the business community, students around, distinguished invited guests, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, especially my party people. It is with great pleasure and privilege that I stand before you today as the guest of honor on this important occasion of the Economic Symposium under the theme, The State of the Ghanaian Economy. First and foremost, I wish to welcome you all to Sunyani, the cleanest city in Ghana, whilst expressing my gratitude to the organizers for the invitation extended to me to be part of this all-important program. Indeed, let me also seize this moment to commend the organizers for creating this timely platform for dialogue and reflection on the challenges, opportunities, and the future of our economy. Distinguished men and women, as we are aware, the Ghanaian economy has experienced significant shifts over the past decades. From the early days of independence, where we were hailed as one of the most promising economies in Africa, through periods of economic instability and structural adjustments, to a recent phase of remarkable growth and transformation. Our nation has shown great resilience and the capacity for renewal. Today, the Ghanaian economy, like many others around the globe, is facing its share of challenges. These challenges, including high rates of inflation, rising public debt, fluctuating commodity prices, and the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, have tested the very fabric of our economic resilience. However, these challenges also provide us with a clear lens through which we can assess our policies, strengthen our institutions, and accelerate the structural reforms to place Ghana on a more sustainable path to step up massive development of our beloved country. Despite these challenges, Ghana remains one of the fastest growing economies in the sub-Saharan Africa. Our democratic stability, coupled with a youthful and enterprising population, positions us uniquely to achieve sustainable development. In the last few years, key sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, and digital services have seen growth, while others like oil and gas have fluctuated in the response to global markets. However, there is hope and opportunities abound to revamp our economy. One of the major opportunities lies in diversifying our economy. For far too long, our economy has been heavily reliant on commodities such as gold and cocoa. While these resources have been the backbone of our revenue generation, they are subject to global market volatilities. It is therefore critical that we explore alternative sectors such as agribusiness, technology, tourism, and renewable energy, among others. These sectors not only promise to create jobs for the teeming youth, but also to contribute significantly to the teeming youth, but also to sustainable economic growth. Another key area for growth is niched in regional integration. With the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, headquarters situated here in Accra, Ghana provides an enormous opportunity to expand our trade horizon beyond traditional partners and tap into a broader African market of over 1.2 billion people. The potential for boosting intra-African trade is immense, and we must strategically position ourselves to take advantage of this opportunity. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as a government, we have a fundamental role to play in creating a conducive environment for economic activities to thrive. Over the years, several interventions have been implemented to stimulate growth and ensure economic stability. The Planting for Food and Jobs program, One District, One Factory initiative, and other social interventions are aimed at enhancing productivity, reducing unemployment, and increasing exports. These programs are already yielding results, but we must continue to evaluate and refine them to ensure that they are serving their intended purposes. Another area of focus is improving the ease of doing business in Ghana. This means reducing bureaucratic bottlenecks, enhancing transparency, and ensuring that policies are predictable. A strong and efficient regulatory framework will encourage both local and foreign investments, leading to job creation and overall economic expansion. While the future holds great promise, it is crucial to acknowledge the economic hurdles that we must overcome. Rising inflation has affected the purchasing power of citizens, making the cost of living higher than ever before. The depreciation of the cedi continues to be a concern, not only for the government, but also for businesses, especially those involved in imports. Additionally, our public debt levels have risen sharply, threatening our fiscal sustainability. As government, we are committed to addressing these challenges head on. through prudent fiscal management, targeted investments in infrastructure, and renewed focus on industrialization. We believe we can steer the economy back on track. However, it is imperative that all stakeholders, that is government, private sector, and civil society, work together to ensure the success of our collective efforts. Ladies and gentlemen, to our business leaders, I encourage you to continue investing in this economy. Your entrepreneurial spirit is what drives growth, and your innovations are what will shape the future. To our economists and financial experts, I wish to respectfully implore you to continue providing advice and policy recommendations that will help guide this country through these turbulent times. To the students and young professionals in the audience, you represent the future of this very country. Your energy, skills, and ideas are critical to driving the next wave of economic transformation of our beloved nation. In conclusion, I wish to submit that the Ghanaian economy, though facing challenges, is not without hope. We have resources, both human and natural, to overcome these challenges and emerge stronger. The road ahead may not be easy, but with collective effort, discipline, with high sense of commitment and strategic planning, we will succeed in building a prosperous, equitable, and resilient economy. It is possible. Thank you for your audience, and may God bless you and I. Mabusiafo, my trouble for 10. Do be crackers and yamin samras a baby crab ye na ye. I said the yen, it takes two to tango. I had the opportunity to sit in between doctors. It's a very enviable degree for us. I've only up to this October. After October, there's no need. Say, me baby, you know, say me if you walk beyond. Now me tell me how can you do? Compare say about 7 December elections no. Keep us to means you. Until from now, Acadian, maybe be Acadian correction on you. Na busuya for be yen krata we mu nyina ne ade nyina na me hwespagu the years of doctor ofrin kran ba ye no na me ka say doctor the whole Ghana when we talk about cashew Bono region, and so Bono is cashew and cashew is Bono sana the whole Ghana you can poultry pa we ye from man sana chire crack we ni ba ho ba bi beba aba because the number of players in the poultry industry I what Bono ha no anya do bi ni na wo fa yen mainstream ba kokra dia media dey say efie bia mu every Tom, Dick and Harry in that district no ye poultry and ama no ne nsa ekona no na me kan na say me kan si say Doma Central and Doma West and Doma East na ye ka cashew so dia na ye say almost all the 12 districts that makes Bono region no baby biara cashew edi akotene wom na me ka say cashew edi akotene nyina no ye ka cashew ya me mienu e na wo cashew yi ho ye wo the apple part of the cashew and ye wo the bean no the bean na ye cashew na ye bo e de ye niema no na ano na bonifa na apple no a bi so ye twe juice every mu no na ni mpanyifo bebrehia na ye ka say sa apple part no ye ti ye to twene e wo wira mu ho no ye wo niema be ba ko be nso a betimi de san apple ya ye na so be pem ne ya me no ka say ye cashew adu be vie be du no kwa aduonu e ho nsam e wo bro mantem ha yi ye da so to twene nti ye sika ye chibremo kasa ye economy na nka ye chibremo kasa e ma ye gina ye yie no e no na ye huri to twene no nti Ghana dache e na ye huri no ye to na hugya no nti die ne be ye afa ho nti mpanyifo mo ka biye wo mu itra ye academia mwaba mu nti die ne ye cashew yi as an industry ye bunu ye betimi di ayo. I'm not proud to be na ya asefon say be kan say Bono Mantam as we speak we have only one factory na no kra Tom Brown na oye no the residue ni bi a supply am ye de akoye malt and Guinness e wo Kumase na die na see en kwan say academia research officers were around I mean, when I say research officers, not political research officers, name researchers as doctors, PhD in academia. Sir, you bet to me they are near me than your knee. There's your factory, never been so funny among Hakoton. Yes, you're near be at the boy and Hobra. Sanya Papaya or Tom Brown, our Alaska Hoya. Nanky acquired Nasa by. Now you need Bromantum. And the Bro is at a new region. I at a region, Ebia, which is over 60 years. We don't have one factory. And see, Ajmaya folk who are a teacher form penny for businessmen and women, a school for any research, baby. No, you bet me a Kaya boom. Sabako for we are a dry, you see a goo. Now, me just say a Kaya home, bet me a so much. I'm my industry, no, as cash, you know, yet me a done and not done more. I'm not by your industry. After all, school feeding, yeah. And crown sometimes they take drinks, and now Obia, no, I drink, not I said a bag, will not go school. Now, cashew, you chum juice now. You let me that I drink at my may. You chum juice in every, you know, residue, no. My father said, oh, we are a more in a human, you come on. It's when the poultry feed. Emma, no, a year, can't remember my poultry feed money. It's when the young preco feed a money a year. A DNA, ya for home. Now said to be a better action. Sabi you cry, you let me actually alcohol a free. Tibet me in your spirit. At the several year in hospitals and as a health facilities. Everything's on your alcohol. At the idea the alcohol, ye be it means so Eddie B. Are you am na ye? And no, ya COVID-19 be safe for bed down ye. Never say a hand sanitizer see. For near Cosre, the first time I was MC. Me sure letter SID actually echo Newmont. Ebi and then you be female. Now, so Nanke or Cashunaki, a chimu juice na alcohol, let him done any at the yes and hand sanitizer CB and money. Sanitizer is not only meant for COVID-19, but for many other things. And say alcohol non quampon the air chain. Yent him from where Hobra, our Bromanta, my surplus, young fast supply other regions and now. Send your other regions to go and look for other things, and also will also come around here to also take our alcohol. I didn't say, Mrana near Achia, Mpanyinforce, Emuyan, yes, a baboonina. Achia Pass have a muye, wait me as I can see any import bookra, it's me Cassian money a year. So this is the time. Now we are school near, I think we write so many things and do many researches and write so many theses here and there. And don't say, even if you find yourself, you find yourself in the health industry. I think as much as we also need the alcohol to use in the hospitals, we can also do that research there and see how, because at the end of the day, it's also going to help the health facility. And it Mijiri Sempany for Baby Ombeka, Tidiaka Beja, say, Madam, say a fray, Chani Achadi and Nancy Yaba, nearby Betty. Mijiri say at the end of the day, the ACBiano, your boy Hombra, I'm on mine, Aquanin, Onyamisha, on Kaya home, near the babyano, a young cosso and for my baby, Madam Wasi, Yamisha.
Another round of applause for the minister. Let me be a bit autocratic today. Prof, I think looking at a deeper appreciation of the economic situation, we have to add her to the team so that we can take her to either Tamale or Kuforidia next week. All right, Ebusa Fonti, and then Menya Yempeni for a 9 title for Mabing. Omoche adie wo universities across the country. Na ye wo homeboy baako e wa say no mo Dr. Emmanuel Opokumafo was a lecturer, Department of Entrepreneurship and Business Sciences, University of Energy and Natural Resources, Sunyani. Kindly with us, please. Then we have regular panel member, Dr. George Domfe, Development Economist, Senior Research Fellow, Center for Social Policy Studies, University of Ghana, Legon. Doc was a homeboy with here. And then Dr. Frank Bano, lecturer, Gempa, and head of research, Dankwa Institute, Accra. Doc. And then, of course, Professor Isaac Boedi, Dean, Faculty of Accounting and Finance, UPSC. Abusa for Pacho, more fast than Kesema, Penny Free. You know, Makwa, Kra, Kukumasa, Kuini Baniasa, no Maba. Yes. Now, your best start regional minister catch me say never be brave with chi na ba no person wo twe no me nyina yakwa aba ansa na akokosho no asa aba e kakra so fufu na radio ta be ne mra. All right, enti ye beja regional minister kwan abra ye frɛ Dr. George Domfe na oba betia no you will see pen na de konato as but a round of applause for Dr. George Domfe, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, and sorry for keeping you waiting. Some of us have been here for long and others just joined us. Yeah, but all the same, it's good to have all of you here. Today, we are here in Sunyani and we want to talk about economics. We want to talk about economics. I will simply say that when we say economics, we're talking about what you do, what I do, what everyone else does in order to put food on the table. What you do, what I do, what everyone else does in order to put food on the table. As a teacher, at the end of every month, I'm paid. I'm paid because I work. Somebody is a trader, a farmer. We all do various things, and at the end of the day, we receive reward for what we do. So this is what happens. What you do, the value of what you do, the value of what I do, when we put it all together, we get what is called gross domestic product. Gross domestic product, GDP. I'm sure we've been hearing about that. So what you do, the value of what you do. So as a teacher, I teach every month, and government gives me something. Let us say government gives me 2,000 a month, and I work for 12 months. 12 times 2 is what? So 24,000 a year. That is supposed to be my contribution to GDP. When somebody is involved in maybe farming or carpentry, whatever, let's say a farmer, and the person is able to harvest 10 bags of maize, and a bag of maize is sold at 100 cedis. 100 times 10 is what? 10,000. Is 1,000. So that person's contribution to GDP is what? 1,000. Now, I want to say that every economy, in order to find out whether or not it is doing well, we want to know what you do, what I do, what everyone else does, the situation about it. Are we progressing with what we are doing? Are we retrogressing? Are we stagnating? When you are retrogressing, it means that you are getting lower than you had in the previous year. So if, as a farmer, today, I'm able to, I get 10 bags of maize this year, and last year I had 20 bags, it means I'm out, declining. Say last year, me try bro 20. Now this year, me try 10. So if I'm an economy, I am not doing well. In other words, me try 20, and this year I'm able to get 20. What is happening to me? I am stagnating. But if me 20, now I'm able to move it to 40, it means what? I'm growing. Now, so every economy, in order for us to know whether it is doing well or not, we look at the GDP. Okay? We look at what? The GDP. And so I've said that GDP is what? Money value of all goods and services produced in an economy. What you do, what I do, what everyone does, the money value of it in total put together gives us what? GDP. Now, there are two things about GDP that today I want to share with you. We use GDP as a best of all the economic indicators to measure the health of an economy. When an individual is sick and you go to the hospital, what happens? The doctor immediately wants to check what? Your temperature. Am I right? Yeah, the doctor checks your temperature to find out whether or not you are okay. Right. If the temperature is supposed to be 37 degrees Celsius, anything lower or above tells something about your health, isn't it? Yeah, much the same way, every economy, we want to use GDP and other economic indicators to measure the health of that particular economy. So GDP, two things I want to discuss with you today. Because of time, I'm not going to stretch it so much. I'm going to look at two things of GDP for you to know whether or not Ghanaian economy today is what? Progressing, stagnating, or retrogression. Economy no ne ye koyechi ye gina ho ana ye koyenim me di GDP nko a na be kan wasam ye wo niam bebrebe ye wo debt ye wo exchange rate ye wo so many indicators ye de kire economy no mu ba me se me di GDP na ye ka GDP a adwuma a wo ye ne bo de me ye ne bo ni nyina put together and the friend day gross domestic product. Let me first of all begin with what we call per capita income. It's not per capita income, per capita income. What is per capita income? Per capita income is when the total GDP is divided by the people in the country. At the moment, we have about 34 million people in Ghana. So if our GDP is 78 billion US dollars, you divide it by the 34 million, everybody gets 2,200. Today, Ghana, our per capita income is what? 2,200. That's our per capita income. Now, the children say Ghana is seeking nina, se basa ye cha ne pepe pa, anko the juma we ye the me ye ni the afimunu mo bi anya ye no. Se sika ne kan nina boma the friend gross domestic product no. 78 billion US dollars. Na se nipa 34 no ye cha obia chefa ye dey 2,200. Now obi baka say na beda ne ya che ye nche Kwame despite na juma a ye every hour onye sika bebre as a lecturer me de marketua e wosoro ti ye form anye kra marketua anye carpenter na ketua anye but the thing say ye kan ni nyina ye fa ne average so enya wo de kese no nko ne ye hwe na nya me so me de ketoa ne ye hwe ye kan ni nyina bom ti ye fa ne sanka ye nyina ye adwuma pa anka afimu no nyina no this year afini bekwa wie na nko bia chefa ye dey 2,200. That's our per capita income, and that's why we are a middle income country. For you to become a middle income country, the threshold is that per capita income should be what? At least $1,000. Sometimes they add 14 cedis, whatever, but at least $1,000. So Ghana, we were not a middle income country. Sometimes some people say that, oh, Ghana is never true. Around the year 2000, per capita income was $320. So today, if it is 2,200, are we not moving forward? And in order for you to know whether or not per capita income means something, who doesn't want to go to US? If today I have told or we've gone to announce that somebody is here issuing visa to US, do you think this will be the number here? Everybody will want to go to US. You know why? US per capita income today is $85,000. Almost 86. US. Who wants to go to UK? UK is about 45,000. Italy, about 42,000. Japan, 48,000. Ghana, 2,200. But we are far better than Burkina Faso. We are far better than Niger. Okay? And so you see, Obiko Abrochina, the US, within a matter of time, when now or to talk cars, not at the obesity. Because on average, every year, Obia Chefa economy new day, almost $86,000. It is our quaterna, Sabi, we clean a crown within a matter of time. No one is scanner or the Babisi, Abrosawa. Your bus, Sunyani, Bogus, or mobile in the Omutimi, because of economy per capita income that day. A one and him. In Ghana, time and I rolling say free so no. Now your per capita income, and I'm 320. So, what I say, the entire na yɛkɔ yɛnim paa yɛwura John Ajekum Kufuor bɛgye economy na no ɔyɛ adeɛ paa na yɛwura Rollins ayɛ biribi ɔfrɛ no Vision 2020 and the vision was to make sure by the year 2020 beginning from 1st January 1996 to December 2020 Ghana was to become a middle income country. That is within 25 years, right? When John Ajekum Kufuor came and started putting things together, by the grace of God, when we rebased the economy from 2006 constant prices to 2013 constant prices, in the year 2010, we realized that Ghana became a middle income country in 2007. To 2007, na ebimu essay 25 years no. Ajekum Kufuor ba 30 years less. Na Ghana be day. Middle income country. We are middle income country. Today, our per capita income has been growing. Sometimes people tell you, no, the economy is retrogressing. Omoba oma bese omano. Yekaso obi abese ya dia se ye jawade 5. Na se ye ba na se ade na ka 4. E chese wa dey. Wa se no. Ye jawo 5, ni ye ba na ye 5 a. E chese dey. The tia na tia se unfa bi nka ho. Ba ye jawo 5 na ko 6 a. Ye ka se I say. And this idea, those of you with phone, you can go online and Google per capita income. Come on, you John Dramani mama ho obekono. Se Ghana, your GDP ni ye check, na se kasi ye cha. And na me see US 85,000 to be up so call no. Sa time na ye 1,900. 2016. Per capita income was what? $1,900. Not PPP. It was per capita income now. Obama purchasing power parity. Nyano na meka PPP no nyano na meka. Meka in constant prices. Ti uya ube say dey ebeba mienu. The ebeba 1,900 no. Eno na me kire wo no. Ti yewura John Dramani mama all free abanya no so na Ghana ye per capita income say ka senka afemu no nyina adwuma ya ye ne bo no ye che ne pepepa. No obi a che fa ye dey 1,900 and I say $2,226. $2,200 and 1,900 there so. Please, are they right to say economy no obi abese no? Because our per capita income has what? Gone up. Mema obi ena da say Ghanaian economy we are rather what? Moving forward. Because me person me call US. Na US omo per capita income no ye pre 86 85 86,000. UK there any nam 45. Japan mo any ade any nam 48. Na me person me call ho. Na se Ghana ha obi aba now within 7 years, your team has $300. It means we are doing well. And so, Ghana, our situation today is better than it was in what? 2016. Now, there are many area discussions, no? There are many discussions, no? There are many discussions, no? There are friend growth. You can't say growth. So how GDP na yakaye no? Are you growing? Are you growing? Are you stagnating? Are you progressing? And also yebenya afri sa GDP krona. U GDP no eko wani midika kan say obi kodo bro or a farmer wado bro afi wonya $10. Sa afra say wonya $20 and afi wonya $10. I just ni pakra dey. In the economy, the economy day, a swati. Sir, on the other hand, a friend say when you $10, not a few when you $20. You are growing. Na Ghana, from 1957, a fear economy no, anya the cry, I'm on home cry in 1975. We recorded negative growth rate of over 12%, negative 12 point something. Net as economy now on home cry. In fear me and some so economy no, anya the cry in 1981, 82 and what? 83. Nina negative growth. Now since 1983, no, Ghanaian economy, we've never recorded negative growth rate. Indeed, when President Rawlings was exiting, the economy was growing at what? 3.7%. When Rawlings was exiting, the economy was what? Growing at what? 3.7%. When John Adjei-Kufuor picked it from 7%, he left it at what? 9%. Ghanaian economy grew at 9% in the year 2008 and happened to be the highest ever growth rate at the time. In the year 2011, we started oil production. The economy grew at 14%, and in history, that is the highest ever growth rate we have attained. Unfortunately, President Mahama became president. After 2011, growing at 14%, he became president, and the year 2013, the economy grew at 7.3%. We were all shouting, why are we falling? Yeah, we did so well in 2011 because of the oil. Yeah, but after that, we thought we were going to at least stagnate around 10% and move the economy forward. It never happened to us. We started declining. So 2013, the economy grew at 7.3%. And when we thought that was not good enough, the following year, 2014, we dropped to 2.8%. And then 2015, we dropped further to 2.1%. And so 2015 happened to be the lowest growth rate recorded since 1983. But then 2016, President Mahama did well. We moved a little bit up, and the economy grew at what? 3.4. Meaning, Rawlings, the economy, no, say a nini ewo day. We have much to move and say chili ponson. The friend of 3.7%. No, Adjei-Kufuor before the 9%. 8 years, it went further down to 3.4. Say na mupesa muchire 3.4 ne na the nation. Eti yeru John Dramani Mahama na baby ya me politics. Ye pese ye bie Ghana for any more hu asay. Say yeru John Dramani Mahama na baby ana so ka say oja robust economy a we dem panifo mu nyina mani ma e tro no odi. E tro no odi e kire say ade a obi di ama wo na mu ja no 3.7 na nye. Obi a be pagya ma akwa na odi ma no emfie ngwatwo di akwa 3.4 a ya mo yensema. Yentimi na satam no munim de ma na ba satam na dumso enema say ensuo nto agricultural sector say dumso o won kran a so na o tiam efra ba bia obeto ade Sunday anwumre Monday obekọ adwuma ope ba bia to. Things were really very difficult for our economy. Nana Akufo-Addo ba the economy no e say e grow yi ba ma menkan say no na oil production ya na ma no ba sa na nya na Akufo-Addo ahodin bi na emom the year 2018 the Ghanaian 2.8 growth in economy no the management no ye che yewura John Dramani Mahama sa na figures ne kire na me so na mete Ghana nye se bia me firi ba bi na ba ye na metim nim de minim de make pa na afiri oba ne nema anye yi the year 2000 and yes, be the COVID by economic growth we grew at 0.5%. But the following year, 2021, we did very well. The growth rate inched up to 5.4%. And just as we thought we had recovered, another issue came. We've all heard what happened when Putin invaded Ukraine. And since then, global economy has never been the same. What really happened was that economy bia ba form ema ye growth na ye nya 5.4 ye set by 3.1 the year 2023 ye set by form 2.9 now energy something say this year first quarter of the year economy ni grow 4.7 second quarter ye nya 6.9 currently no your economy ni grow at what 6.9. When President Mahama was exiting, that economy no grow. The last quarter growth for President Mahama was 4.1. Meaning 4.1 ni 6.9 they are so. 4.1 ni 6.9 they are so. Eti dem pass me kira ni say yewura John Dramani Mahama ba economy semua no kwasam ene atinye bia ni hu say omomodene sa afia obeba na obeya ade ade a yenim na ye migina he de atwam ne ye de kasa de a free 1992 to date no omomadi yasu nyina no ye ka economic management ono na wasapa ono na ne records type figures no ewo ho figures don't lie and some me can nyina omo hwe me YouTube omo hwe me free baby just go to Bank of Ghana website. All these figures are there. I'm not the one who created these figures, and these figures are the true reflection of what happened then and what is happening now. On this note, I would like to say thank you very much as we welcome Godon. Yeah, Professor Bodi, is it Professor Bodi that you are? Okay. I just wanted to keep to my time. Thank you.
Another round of applause for Dr. George Domfe. And a time into the Beno, a short kakaka. Dr. Bano, lecturer Gempa, Pastor Bra, Yidin Kumogaka. Round of applause for him, please. Look, obey your slides. Okay. Picky.
And that is the exchange rate phenomena. So my task is very simple, is to explain why over the years, given under the Fourth Republic, we've not been able to have a stability in the exchange rate regime. The factors, the reasons, and what can be done or what is being done to make sure that we have a relative stable exchange rate regime. So we know that when we talk about the exchange rate, so yeka exchange rate once a month, ye share a boa what the better American dollar back in plain language, you know, the rate at which $1 trades against the local currency. So basically that is the exchange rate regime. Na yeshe afi asena America dollar na ahoɔden against major currencies in the world akosro bie pa na ade ba akwa baby sense. In fact enye just the Ghana cedi mpo but offer the major currencies in the world, offer the euro, offer pound sterling, offer the yen, the yuan. These are all currencies ejina na so pa no. The data never catch us by the beginning of the year, no. NASA currencies, you know, are depreciated, I think, almost by early this year, by within January to March, now depreciated almost about 2% against the US dollar. That is even talking about the major currencies in the world. Now, Adeba Akwa Mane Basane say, Abribia America buying no, or say, or increasing the policy rate, you know, na $1 na ho den kosro, adentia. Say ye say opese okoye investment opese odu sika ko share eye bank investment bi mu a eye ensihu na ewo ho no sene ewo soro nti ene be ma odu sika eden akwa akoshim. Yes, na abribia America buy no and I say through the friend say Federal Reserve no obe increases our policy rate no eye sa rate na banka aka wa America memu be hwe ho no mo ama ensihu no Abribi omude sa policy rate ni be kosro no. Na je se odu sika ko hye eye America buying no instrument asana se ni bond and say T-bill. You say government of Ghana treasury bill, the equivalent of the American one. Na je se ubenya mfa so wo so den bebre. Na de ba ko enimu so ni say America buying no eye omanya eye the most risk-free country in the world. Say old America buying at the woka and to send ye a buyer or a bibibemu eye den at the woka. Enti every bia sa policy rate in America buying no be pijamuno. Nature say invest wise no. Ewiase mu ni pe bia hu ni se so de ni sika ekwohye America obenya emfaso ewoso. Na risk no nso eye more or less zero. Enti obia be pese odi ni sika be ko America man mu. Enti ekoba sa won mpa won sika hye Ghana ha no na opese wo yi fi ha. No other ko America be mu ntina any time be America man be increasing the policy rate no na akoma dollar na ho ode against the cedi no na eden e kosro pa. That is one of the reasons. Nti eno no de edi nkan na de me pese me ka bie mu ni se oba ye Ghana ha enioma emma eye cedi no aho ode no de eye policy rate na me kan ne to nchen a America ban kasa policy rate eno ye external factor ne to nchen a ade ba ko a emma cedi no ahoɔden ne dollar ne ntumi nyina ne se na men kan twam se Ghana ha ye ntwa dollar se ye nyina enim se ye ntwa dollar enti ye nya dollar every edwadie a ye die mu edwadie ne ba ko ne sen se ye cotton ye gold ye bauxite ye oil timber cocoa sikana ye nya fimu no se sikano ene eye foreign exchange aya na dodo na ye in American dollar ye de ba Central Bank Bank of Ghana se yensu ye hia se be cranium efra bruchira sa dollar ni bi na Central Bank ne de ma commercial banks make commercial banks say ADB Capital Bank ne ekeka ho individual private banks ni na we term them as commercial banks omudi dwa enye the emphasis so that is the general term in economics se sikana na ye Bank of Ghana no edema omo na yesu enye biye den efi ho enti abre bia nipa dodo a epese sike no dollar yi no edoso echen dollar na ewo ho no na automatically bo na eden ekosoro eho ena problem kese ne pawo na problem kese wo mu free say entwetwemu adedi say sike ya meka se nipa dodo na te se Ghana for per dollar no ba kwa ye hu ni say eya dodo na per dollar ne sese bio odi kodija but o per dollar ne say dollar na aba be ye a safe haven enti say na obi nim say owo dollar e hye ne mpaase ana owo dollar e wonu kotokuo ma ebi eni be ye bosome ana se bosome bienu no ebo ne be kosoro enti okosesa obenya mfaso bum eye den e wosoro enti nipa bebre ne ko per dollar no necessarily say okodija ana o de kran yo ma ba o manum but okipu as a form of what investment se na be ya daachi bia no price no kosoro no okosesa no wenye sika bum eden e wa akire na aiwe nso eye ade ba ko a e ma dollar no ahoode de bia na eden e so change eye cedi no nti eno na podcast in friend say eye the speculative aspect no na problem kase e wo ho ne say se ofa amanya etwitwa Ghana ho ehia se wofa within the sub-Saharan region Africa se wo for maybe this South Africa ne de ka ho a ade ba ko omo ye wo ho ne se ontumi nsore prekopo enka se biu o kosesa dollar anasa o koto den dollar na until recently mpo I think say August no Nenka oko forex bureau se wo kosesa dollar anase wo koto dollar nenka yenje o ID card impo enti potoka se me obibi afre se track and trace sika na wo beto no ehe fa na wo de ko eye sika wo di kodija anase sika wo sesa na de kogu mpaase ana eye sika wo be sesa na wo de akoma abochi bia o te kona bia na eno any idea ba ko Ghana had the enya until recently no me say as a result of ABC your lecture see ya god me so be bail me out no central bank na one of the recommendations ya sisia no say oko forex bureau say opese oko to dollar obe odo Ghana card be ko opese oko se sika so a odo Ghana card e den e be ko Bank of Ghana no the software ba omo be capture with data nyina wo so na say ode no to nchen a adie ba konso a yentumi nye ya edi enya e wo Ghana ha ne se Se oka amaya mabubo dina. On to me sorry say wo kosesa dollar. Se okuta dollar, okuta pound sterling, okuta euro. Now okosesa. It is considered as a form of what? Income. Enti se okosesa sika ube tua to also. Na adia ba ko a ema eye Ghana ha, obia pese na adia oton omabuo ni in dollar ni says. Nipa ni mu se so oje dollar dia. Na okosesa sika na obenya mfaso bumu wo so nti yemfa ne se o ebia obi ton atade ni 20 Ghana cedis. Oba yo ba mama na ebia mfa ne se $5 and I say mfa ne se eye $20. $20 no onim so okosesa ebia obenya 30 Ghana cedis because of exchange rate difference. Say o man dollar or better dollar no. Hotel 40 in dollar because onim say okosesa obenya fa so kakra we den e was so because of the exchange differentials. Na oko amanya etwa ehu ehia na nya sa na omomo de enete te se omo bi se ukuta dollar na woko bank mponya forex bureau woko bank se woko $60 na me example me se obi che me $200 and me call FNB First National Bank se me kwa akosesa me bank ne ka che me plain say they take a fixed commission of the exchange. It say $200 and at that time no na dey say 3,000 rands. Bank no ebeji ne commission e was 3,000 rand no so. And it say be ye dwadidi and am free say me kosesa na me nyamfaso bumu wo ha. And am sa commission na bank na agility no sa mfaso bumu me ye dey me nya. And next time me twade no bi beba me dollar me ka che say papa bank ne si ho no. Forex bureau ne so wa kona kosesa na first me brand here den ebre me na no ne ade a ye nye wo Ghana ha ebie mo de bank ne to nchen a wokọ forex bureau se okosese sika e ho de wutua VAT tax e wo so eni se wadwen ye o se ade ne 200 Ghana cedis but obi ma dollar na okosese benya 300 Ghana cedis do beje dollar okosese e beto tax e bi kura wondie no nya 180 Ghana cedis no aye den wa boka enti obi beche dollar wo ye de onye enti mo amukọ Dubai no. So ko do Dubai now $2 dollar. Beka just say ko ne kosesa ne fa local currency there. Fa brand. That is one of the reasons. Na eno ne ade a yem to me enye because of politics. Na me de we your recommendation ABC dey ma say eye ade ba ko a e wo se den ye tumi ye na solve ye dollar issue no. Na me wie no na me ko eye enioma a baby a aban ne enya ne dollar free no me say maka ho asem. Na de me pese me kaso so eye anamo a aban no etuo emi se aban bako but aban we anamo a wo tuo bako no say over the years no say over the years no ye frɛ bibi say eye trade balance na trade balance me din kan ka say baby bako a yenya ye dollar dodo na afri no eye ye nneoma a ye di fi eye Ghana memu ekoye den akwakoton na over the years into wo hwe data ya me de egu ho ya say o share from eye 2014 to 2016 a de bia no na nneoma a ye di fi Ghana memu kwa abonten say ye kwakoton no na ewo form sin dodo a ye den ye kra edeba into in 2014 ye nya de friend said trade deficit of eye 1.7%. In 2015, crowd in 4.3%, and at 2016, so 4.2%. And extra will say, Sabreno, and new man, ye cra edeba Ghana memono, na a such a new man, ye call ye different Ghana memory, a cotton. The medin caswa will say, ube to me anya dollar ibia, and you won't your mother do now what they carbon tia cotono, and when a unya sikani be a day, edifi. And it's a all recorded trade deficit there. Nature will say a year dollar and the cacre one here, the Akano crampono, and soon baby because Sikadodo I would if you gun a memo, Akako Twadi and Eso change the order back. Near any say, oh, caught China, oh, caught Turkey, Akofan your man, oh, far Ghana city in the back and Akakoto, what the dollar and Akakoto. And it's a all recorded trade deficit there. Now, obviously, a travel say, we see the ammo than a coffin. And you show the right hand side until 2017 till date. Any shall say you recorded a trade surplus. In terms of Dr. Don't fair eka wasem. Say OSHA a 2014 first quarter, you recorded a trade surplus of 11.8 billion Ghana cedis. And the second quarter, no, you recorded a trade surplus of 5.8 billion Ghana cedis. Actually, say over the years, you know, say Siano. And your madodo na ye difi Ghana memu ekọ abonten no edoso chen dodo na ye den ye kra edeba enti we see one of the enioma e kire se eto akoso te se ne ekoso no de a ebeduru baby steady no ebetumi enya de friend say some form of what stability na de etoso mienu nso ye cars a ye kra ba Ghana memu very very important. In fact, in 2022 cars nko a ye kra ba Ghana memu no it cost $1.14 billion. 2022. Cars are credible in 2022. Yeah. Until we hear the Tana, or say Ghana is the 97th largest importer of cars. The American dollar and Kwano, you're spending over $1 billion in 2022 near the cars buy. Now, the money I was asking me say, Saka see a credible. Emu oha entichemu edio kono ne achire na nyina second hand cars including accident cars. Na osha enam sa sika dodo ya ye twitwire ede cars ede ba Ghana memunti no ene ma eye under one district one factory se nyina be kaya car assembling plants initiative ana na ekufuado ede ba no na ye to solve this problem. Enti se offer yen average car demand or Ghana ha cars do ye kraba Ghana memu afibia. Currently your average car demand is about 120,000 vehicles. Now offer about 6 car assembling plants now. Or more the capacity to produce more than 120,000. In fact, Kia alone at Amasaman can produce over 60,000 cars in a year. I want to talk about Toyota, Mitsubishi, and the rest. Now, the money you say, says mi bodino. Out of the over 100,000 cars now ye cradebano. Emu just 6,000 and then brand new cars. Now, out of these 6,000, no, now emu 4,700 a brand new cars here or Ghana here. Into 2,300 per any brand new cars, ye crowded by actual say cars don't run over. They say almost 100,000 no, a second hand cars, accident cars, ye cra edi free abruchri buy. Into idea ba kwa ebe to me as solve sa problem we are. Yen spending over 1 billion on importing cars alone. A dear friend said credit scoring. Say offer on mine bit is South Africa, for example. Me use South Africa especially because South Africa your mine ye be mine to say Ghana mine where be memory here. Now when South Africa started say omo ye assembling plants no who say ye car na and I say ye sie car na car mono no ye di si hwa and say wo call ye assembling planter. You find say the average price of a car is around 40,000 USD, right? Now me no ti hanu me say ye kasa be kind $40,000 nurse for where they mimi samu ye kasa ne betria $40,000 American dollars the equivalent in cities near my car betumi atua pacho betumi untumi ntua meboa pisa waketua no enye sika say wo so save mpa one how be save for the rest of your life and sana wetumi raise that amount of money when you to look down on your salary including professors ye wa hanu musi Professor Buedi be kachiro. So oka say ye metua $40,000 and now me just say Professor Buedi be nya $40,000 amane. Na me credit na me dem na say a whole professor nya ma na me ye lecturer na me nya say sika no dia mam. Na eno ni problem in South Africa for sure say omo assemble cars no na omo hu ni say yesi enya ni peking kran a enipa na nya de entumi meto cars no. Until recently say wo share ya a car assembly plans for ne babonte be car say send ye nyoma ekon wan hwe bi mu kras on beto omo factory no ma sa akọ back fi say omo produce cars no right but Ghana phone to me nyeden emeto fi say obi na obenya 40,000 30,000 $100,000 especially the SUVs no dey beto sa car no eno na be ma credit scoring very very important I don't think it's very, very important. And this is not politics, but this is to tell you how policies and programs can transform the economy, because it has been done in a place like South Africa. And what South Africa did, they say, "Yenimuse untumi metues sikano emfa meto mefaka." Enti se wunya start ye adwuma pe, and I'm saying this on record. I'm saying because me anga sakra mi ko su ono, I was a target. Say me we so an friend me say, this car is available for you. Come and let's discuss the payment terms. And to wunya we so say we ye adwuma na, all you need is what over there your friend your proof of address. Ene wo proof of banking details. Some you might be new pen over here. In the sense about Ghana ha, enka your digital address system be out here. Then the second most important thing is say wo banking details, because say no wo banking details no, your Ghana card has been linked with your bank. And it's a nipa ba ko o bank accounts wo hakra ni nyina enim say eya kwesi bensa na account ne den eye ne dia. San no ma mienu pe no mu hia unya de kwa de omo frɛ ne sɛ garages omo de omo frɛ ne garages unya de kɔpɛ car no wa kwa no akɔti so de ɔpɛ ne aka de so bi a car we ɛyɛ 400,000 rands osi okay based on market tua me gye na bi a me yɛ professor bosumi bi etua me 40,000 rands enti mo de mo nteme bosumi bi ya 5,000 for the next 6 years ɛno ano no minua ne me papa no unkotua 100,000 Ghana cedis into whole. Wunya yes arrangement we the key na man what to car wo ko fi. Say ye to me the bibi say ba and ye nurse ni a wote ha. Say ye assembly car na wo kwa wo do pay slip any proof of address system kwa. And once ye the car na so based on what ketu ya wogin e bia bosum ye betumi ato 1,000 Ghana cedis for 6 years. Enti car we na bia ye free say eye saloon car na wo betumi ye den atua enti drive nefa ko. Eno ano no unko 1,000 Ghana cedis po enye den ento. And this is what has been done in places like South Africa. If you call a place like South Africa where bibi memi ha, there is no dumping of used cars there. Ube who say most cars amount for brand new cars because of good credit system or more pretty or honomo. They are very, very important. Now the tosu mienu and so your agricultural products. Say offer a year Ghana memi ha. In 2022, agricultural products and spent $2.6 billion. And to offer a year sika yakwa IMF almost $3 billion. Se oka sika yadekra agricultural products any yadekra second-hand cars bagana and over $3 billion. In fact, it's about $3.6 billion. And such a the IMF for some more de maye. But says sika yesika yesisa wa Ghana ha near the top and yoma at the bagana. It is a washer agricultural products ha. Near a din kind a woman out of the 2.6 billion a more. The atosumienu a wheat. The yade a pan on no brodo. Now wheat dear because of climatic reasons into no yen to me niado do na wa ha intenu the entiasium. Now the atosumiensa a chicken products. A more wheat and a chicken products, poultry. And only Nyoma miensa AD over close to 2.6 billion afibia or Ghana Hanumusi. Now, I didn't catch you say, Sika we $2.6 billion, you $1 or Ghana how. And to see the now war hano, and I was a son out the American dollar $2.6 billion afibia not with the Accra, your dear. And a more abagana ha. Inti enuntina will see the now day and to me and answer that. Na say bet to me as solve sa problem where they are. Na e was say agriculture and so no ye to me to anamompa e wo ho. Inti say me ma e mono statistics are say osha in 2021 na e mo a ye kraba Ghana memu e ye 805,000 metric tons in 2021. Ena me no kase ene to me at Yaba from Ababedru a 440,000 metric, and this is 2023 data. And they say currently they say, oh, for a rice sufficiency, almost about 51 to 49. And to offer a more bag or high do a Ghana mem here. A mubia say a duonu bako pe any cradeba, a mu edrianan conodie, if we Ghana memu here. But previously, na entesa. In fact, se wo hwe data na obeka to say rice imports no aba from ohanche chemu aduanan num achiripo ediasa and 45.34%. And it's where see a policy say aban no to me koso aye ni ye na ebedrum rebi na for every 100 bags aye kra no emu be yes 20 per any fra broche but 8 ni de if Ghana mem here sa 2.6 billion na me kan no enu see sika ebeka Ghana me here na yetumi aye sa no na be ma sidi no ahoden atumi aye den agina ne na so na adie ba akoso a etoso biemu no eye trade in gold. Oh, se medin kaka say, yete Ghana hano. Ye nyoma dodo na ye kraba ne yesesa sidi ni kwa American dollar ene yede kra ene yede ba. Na ewiase so until recently, let me say the economists semtroku kese ba ko wiase. Omo ye nhwehwemu bi de aba betu dwa say. Aye se ewiase nyina man bebre na hu say America dollar no aba be ye weapon. Edi ameyenya nti amai bebre na ahyase se omo pese omo didwa e wo gold mu de na mpese me kire se me beto ade e wo adwaman so a na se ade ne $2,000 a mitumi se me wo gold na me de mo currently I think say gold is trading around $2,600 per ounce me boa de se me kuta gold na me de ma wa enipa no egi gold no as a medium of exchange se de okuta dollar na pepepe. Enti ade ba akoso a eye Ghana ban so ebehu ye ne say from Kwame Nkrumah breso eye 1957 until 2016 na ye gold reserves aye won nyina ye 8.7 metric tons ohanji chemu enwotwe akiri ponsom in metric tons no na eye 8.7 metric tons ena aban implement bibi a friend say gold purchase program enti ena me no ka say from 8.7 metric tons in 2016 no your current gold reserves no ababedu 65.4 metric tons, the equivalent of over 5 billion USD. Now say ye to me I intensify our program we are near extra one say Oba Ghana ha you see your current gold reserves are your one proven gold reserves no over $10 trillion. And they say you bet to me I empower Ghanaians. No more engaging in responsible mining. And responsible mining is underlined. See, bet me empower Ghanaians, no more engaging in responsible mining there. Next, Ghana for bet me to sell gold na abide the city out to gold nephew or munsem. Na abide the sell gold near beton edijadia. Na in a way, no, we are bypassing the dollar as a medium of exchange. And also able to me ama yen sidney stability. And having a responsible mind and say ye to galamsey aseno, and yet the only problem I hope solve waha. But at the same time, no, obesa solve exchange rate what regime. And also a idea bakwa say abani bet me a cost to send a work to an amount over the years, from 2021 ababesi no one intensify the gold purchasing program on swa and also your idea going into the future no. A bet to me ama sidinu enya some form of what stability. To when in your makakra and me say and me ane de maybe bosso for the sake of time. Madam Ase.
Doctor Bano, Doctor Yanko rice na measure rice. Me who figures was very interesting. Aha. What's the local rice cultivation does not meet local demand. And Ghana has a total of 125,000 hectares. Rice is imported to augment local rice. Now, local rice cultivation does not meet local demand. Then the street question is, are there no more ediamo? Almost a yento.
You. Broadcast me afraid be taste.
Taste. Okay.
In fact, in economics, taste is very critical.
Yes,
Katamasude. In fact, maybe na me child na me bisa me class man no more say maybe some so sa enwi ya yeshi. Na be some so Say, Mamma to be brinashi, you so say, and so, Namunya from so, a bit more techie, a bit more book, me if you miss a man a bit me a kai.
Human hair.
Yes. And I mean, cast oh, into your funny say, and then car ye besi factory, Ghana ha. Now factory, I say, ye beer, come over shana, one, say, a the same quality as the Turkish one they are.
Okay.
Say, yes, we are sorry. On say enipa udru level bi a on set sentade ya obehu bi ni atro Prada ni atro Hugo Boss Prada ni Hugo Boss atade no Gordon enye different from the ehemi o but the fact say Prada bomu ntino obebetumi akan over 5,000 Ghana cedis akota atade a Prada ebomu keke sa atade na ebia nka akọ kantamanto obetumi anya the same design but Prada bomu ntino ko de ba ni pa no 500 Ghana cedis fra on top. Okay. And when your friend say taste, and to young Ghana for no, you better develop a strong taste for a year basmati, any a year the other one, jasmine rice. And to me, and for you being chat to say, my bit is South Africa beam. Or more will be a friend say tastic. Now, Mamma did tastic dance, where did tastic that? Maybe when I'm Tanakos in Jamaica, if we are seeing you, I mean, more and yet to say tastic and that. But se ura eyo omu supermarket se ube so obi to jasmine and basmati automatically tells us say nipa no oye foreigner. The typical average South African, no matter what, will buy more tastic rice no. Now tastic rice no a kilo less than 100 rand. If I say 100 rand, any pricing rate na kole nimu kra less than 90 Ghana cedis, and that's approximately 90 Ghana cedis for 5 kilos. Now, basmati rice here make us with the imported one, no, just 1 kilo kra over 60 rands. Entino, sa taste na ye Ghana for ye work for basmati and jasmine rice. No, the actually say for every bag of jasmine or basmati rice you are creating jobs for people in Vietnam and China. It's almost where they Edo. Nessa all creative jobs more there. Let us say Ghana Nino was because so the chef Kuyamuno, Kunia Ghana Nino. He said, O Diamona own top because we'll say, O Tetramasono, a yet just mini basmati and a tall Tetramaso. It's a what and a problem no ever.
All right, but your first like I said, my Dr. Frank Bano. So I think there's all about branding, packaging, and other things, but ABS, yeah, shake it a balance. Professor Bwadi. Yanum ye de Prof, but also the back as a meeting. I was for Bachelor Pastor, I can say, my Professor Isaac Bwadi of UPSA. Now, when you need a Kumaka. Yes, a dance already in your check a credit, the best man. Now, you trust a crack. We are already a year media engagement, more Kakalo painting, or more Sunyani and this virus in Nano. At me, Prof. Pacho, for you too.
Good afternoon. I said Ghana and Kwana Jamaica. No abo mu say eye juma. Eye juma. All right. Me nyave me da se bebre. Embre nti e be ni kakra. And then what in some bebre about the economy? Then I'll tell you from the beginning. Economic growth. Or to GDP. And I'll tell you then view. Exchange rate. And I then view. Yeah, exams, And a debut. Trade deficit, exchange rate, gold reserves. Bebre. Question maybe Sunday say, sa resources na se phone ni na no. E wo hifa. E wo asase. Gold e wo hi. Asase. Oil. Bauxite, and then view. Ghana and Yamish, then view. Manganese, timber. Sanyamanyana wa asasiase. We are rich as a country. You better than you identify Sanyamana wa asasiase no. Question being, answer is saying. Manpower development. Say adwene no ye developing ye na etime ko hu nyoma e wasase ase na etime push the GDP a push inflation a push gold reserves asefo nyina no ehia manpower development through education. Na I say aban bae no na botan kasane se obe develop the capacity, the manpower, the brains. Na atimi akwasa ase na se atimi akire ba bi asa no ban na asefo nyina no ewo. Na many abofra bi hia na abofra no na opeja na owo awofo na owo enna. Na a year after Owie school, a year JSS, and our four no, my many papa ne abofra ba ko kano hono, omnyina fimo. Na akakola ne kwa. Obey den wako school. Ene oye engineer. Through education, investment in education. Enti ye pese twanfoni kakra efa aban sika odi akose education na ama 2024 yu kwakoto aba wahwe sika aban komu se eye ana enye na udi agina so e de ato aba enu te yesa nchehwe won say your presentations nyina no ye can twi kasa oti ase obisa questions so you be ma kan say na obeti ase obeka igbe obeka fante obeka bibia ye ma kwan ma o kan se na o ho beto ope professor ye beka ma e kire juma ide asi eni so ayeye yanko back to education. Now over the years ye have a few discussions kakra say ye kwakoto abai from 2017 to 2024, aban baso no. Afi in December ye kwakoye election. Bisa ho se akonta ban na ye mampani obebu ama yen ewo education ho. Enti ebe education ankasa ne aba free education, financing education. Na obehwe aban ne commitment I ewo education. Yes, sir, for the 7 years in Yunano, it's around averagely 7%. 4% over the years. Obeso or maimu. Now, Oshe government of Ghana allocation of payment to education teachers, Yankaso Tia Yunano, it's around 67.7 averagely. A share commitment on minor and now buying wire in that area. Afoshe donor funding a crime of faso enyeska to education kasa ho. Yes sir 2017 no na about 3.5. He said 2024 above form. Se donor funding ahumie etikakra e chese wo aban also pesika. Now this shall now pay your education over the period. Now oshe funding mechanisms are bebrina na fi international domestic about 96% eska aban FFO my education education ankasa emu 4% per and fee outside. Now over in education so the free education or started in 2017 now any problem started about 800,000. Currently this is a picture before we go into the numbers. Currently it's about 1.4 over in 2024. Now, over how much government did they share the free education sector? Last report, a 9.9 billion Ghana cedi. I'm not buying their share. I benefit over 5.7 young people in this area. Now, say for education, be say who say, I buy ni sikasem ne government education budget against our GDP in your account wasem. Into 2020. You say internationally your benchmark. You can say a GDP, your GDP, I mean gross domestic product, a 6.9, your G2. A benchmark. International organization like UNESCO actually say education budget biano I will say a year between 4 to 6%. Ghana, over the years, from 2017, on my buying BD, Akosra with the same range now, which is highways. Who said I call from 4 point something, above from be a 4, a be a 3, a be a 4. I will bracket over the period. A share commitment in terms of education of our government. Now, we share education budget as a percentage of our government of Ghana expenditure. I will say 15 to 20%. But over the period, Abeng Apejano in the education sector getting the same mark over the period. A share ahodian or mine are buying their shame. Now, bisa on mine of Fesika Wahin and Odia Juma. A buying Yesika Wahin Odia sa education budget. Onyabi Efi government of Ghana expenditure home about 67.7%. And if it's area hoba. I feel about 6% a year ABFA. A share oil revenue resource in Yano. Onyasika kakrasu di fiho at the financing education. Now Osha get fund. Also my about 10.2% over into education. Now about donor. And so I take a crowd because I buy a bond home modern, I pay that sector very well. I feel young women the free education interventions are about over the years. Remember, you pay a crano. You said years ago, for the past 3 decades, you a buy modern boy after education. Especially secondary school education. Let's give some credit to our past government. Niansha impact almost unyaye emma or my ye school sem. Ye will be by a Northern Scholarship Program. Obekai. Ye nyana call school on off. Na omokoni free. Be by a car say ye friend no Cocoa Ball Scholarship and Bursary. Ye bekaya. Now who school no one your bursary kakra from Ghana Cocoa Board. He said, I'm saying, Eohan Kakao. Okay, I'm saying, feel. Now, you be secondary school education improvement project. And also by. And a construction of community day school, SHS. And also by. And I rolling out a professional learning community. And also by. Yebekai model SHS program. And also by. And you progressively free SHS. And for the buy NDC. Nanka, I was almost spending about 400 Ghana cedi or so on every child. But they were spending about 38 Ghana cedi on every child for this program. Interventions when you now buy, you know, the crack is saying, and some are free SHS in EBA. So it is good to give you a picture of several interventions that are back in Ghana. Near that to your policy, you come to say. Now, over the period, enrollment echoes, but uncoso to send Yehu and Nedi. Yehu say enrollment, GS, TVET, technical vocational skills, and so Kakra, a improvement Kakra Koso. Now, improving Yehu here with us, all these interventions, cannot be compared to this current investment in the free SHS. Now, they be an ESA action and so say, you can't say policy where you can't only one free SHS. But 4 major interventions are buying at the buy. One, a free SHS. Now, I may come baby say on social media, a parent will say, oh, me ban or free SHS. I feel over secondary school. And I say, oh, mommy, on T difference, nothing. So free SHS, no one secondary school. Now, interventions, Baku a capitation grants. 4 second SHS, the TVET, and a capitation grants. And a somewhat feeding grant for special schools. And a bechichimu. Ye sign Ghana school feeding programs. Ye behesika akoshe sanyomen yinamu. education financing as far as SHS is concerned. Yepa hon tumatambe. In September 2017. No bota na ewo aban we ni say okay or say to lift financial burden off parents and heart-rending anxiety that accompanies the beginning of every school term. Ya for na se omo first number omo ko school na ayam shishie na yesu yeniska be be ko first carbon na edin. That was the policy, the intention. Now policy not so about expanding or improving the education sector. We are also about several cost components in the prospectus. First one, admission fee. I say, I be so about befa and on na one train no befa no. Also, obefa policy BMBM. Maintenance fee, school uniforms, house dress, school clothes, PE kit, medical examinations, supplementary reader, general stationery, vehicle maintenance, building maintenance, and sports fees. Minya, policy idea of wafa enyina no. Told you say akwala no bed dress it. No washe na atade. No afa ne bag. No they go to school ho. No sia there. Yen yonim bi ko ye wasi exams. Ubekai. Awo for when your friend say on first come from ramitia fees ewo. Akwala no wie no ofa ne bag ne the trunk. And na ne papa ko fa no. And no ba fie free. Ubekai time and near kotia admissions fee or bank. Na wakodi kiumu. Na ye boche de. Na oko. Na oba. Yera asante hine. Eko kan wo Cape Coast. Or say one of the audacious interventions in our country today, the 4th of February, is this policy. Now, ye sa interventions in you know. Yen share near a see emra policy whereby. And someone crow for a kafa sa policy home. Yen mo binum dim, but what's idea? Impossible dream. Hey, dream with the enye yeda. Yen free education on the whimsical promises of a desperate politicians. Oh yeah, no. Yerana on the November 23rd, 2012, Yera Lee Okran, then Minister of Education, said the policy will collapse Ghana educational system. Yenyanwe, enye no me robotic, omko wini award no. You refi? Good. Yera President Mahama, echo UCC. Also, free SHS by NDC a political thing. Gimmick. Gimmick chasing. HSA. Scam. Nada. Ye can't chini a TSE. Bono ye can't say bono nada. Good. You're a former president can echo count taka unity work. Also, free SHS is unwise to implement it. Nyanse bieni. So be confess adu aba. Ye say ye to abai ye nada kakra ye da fe fom ye de ko. Say ye nuanu ye mfa nada enkoto aba biem. Enu nta ye so ye ba. Na ne asi nyina ne e wo se ye hye ne nso. Na also hu bi. Na okojina abato also koto aba. Wo hu a kwanya obefa so obeto aba. Yera Mahama 2017 I don't know kind. Ose policy a lala sulala policy. former president or say free education is not working. Na yenya li okran or say a year possible only after how many years? 20 years time. And that's our policy way. Inti gold ni minu ana wasase asene ye be hu akutua age 20 years as say training crop for ansa na ko hu saa niema na wasase ase. A dos bebre and some kai obekai advert omo running about 47 adverts and the course against this policy. Yera Joshua Kamba or say it is a shambolic education system. It's not good. Ye kani nyina ma hu say enness obi kasa free education no ono no de ba ya minya no kware na wo ho a ne omodi kan akadada ene ne ose eye ne dia no ensem we be ka kaw emra akwakoto aba. A very simple discussion. Ahayenya politics. Ahayema nyoma asisi ni akakaw yewia ni ekoye baby. Afiyenhwe the free education interventions by effect abam say since inception in 2017-2018 enrollment akosro saying 800 and they say from that figure I call 1.4 million enrollment as at this academic year. Yahoo in 2021-22 academic year, government extended free education policy to cover which people? TVET, the technical, vocational, yasande mobom. Yahoo say enrollment across through now, and Yahoo say yadinyuma be brave asamba be kaho over the period. Afeyemra sika enrollment statistics. Ocean Wahaya from 2019 to 2020 academic year. There will be total enrollment and there will be total enrolled. A chess say a place what total placed. Say you don't go to school bima. A different from Nkwala ye enroll. Until 2019-2020, na enipa ye place omono na ye 424,000. Emu ahin na call school no. Emu 362,000 and etimi call school. Until nipa omo ntimi am place so ye saying almost 62,000. In percentage terms, a year 15%. And the antimi ankum. Yenshe the projection. Now in 2020-2021, ye place in Kuala 497,000 plus. Emu ahina eko school. Eko na nimana. Se eko na nimpa na percent in sote. And the percent in ba 11%. Any year 2021-2022 academic year. A society bar form a call 15%, and so I call Sukakra. But as at 2022-23, yen far 24, dear my in year. Not percent abasing. A chessing. Ni pay co school. And if I so co school no, not expense, not you be not expenses no, a cost. And Tisika saying a bind the comb. That is a commitment from a reliable, someone who has a future for the country. No better me I said the way. Yeah, here's the allocation budget. Yeah, allocating resources. Ebi okasa oba busu memana ko senior high. Me the 10,000 eto and no 10,000 other man eson ye. Yeah, here's the na abane de toho. Emma free education. From 2017, or discussing and an toho million. 400 million. Then over all the way to 2023, allocation are almost about 2.9 or so. in billion cities. Sika na a allocation na a call from 400,000 million all the way to 2 point something in terms of allocations. Now, okay, sadi we are. Say you allocate resources to her. And was say any person or yeah finance or take a nyoma biasika kana. And was so yeah adjustment with inflation. Say inflation no. I was say me kote fiscal na me hu the actual sika me de kwa koshim. Ye are your presentations no. It me the share. Ye usadi ye kan waha. Me nya de ode buy opa. Ye de ma. No one kasa wakotana se. So one who ni hayi what's not say with my shares, I figure seeing na bow. Yes, sad way we are. Extra an increment, the nominal times about 639. Oh, yeah, adjustment in we are. There's an increase, it's about 443% in terms of Sika allocations in ACOM. I feel what we know, there's one thing to allocate and there's one thing to spend. Sika saying and are buying so at the share from 2017 all the way to 2021. You can say or yeah allocation saying first one 400. Our buying spending 480. That was the first time you implemented policy way into a hoarding and was celebrated into the more than Saisicano and a shame. A finish corner year 2018. Now I buying the 1.13 million nakoshim. A hodian kasa. I increased it from that time until COVID 2019. We expect there was an increase in terms of enrollment. But at that time, because ne rural COVID time, and to me and cost was echo. But 2021, I call 1 point something in terms of actual commitment. Now, you will be a friend of free SHSE, the execution rate, HSN. Your budget, and your TV actual, now difference I was a amount. No execution rate. HSE, Sika sign a hoarding bank sign or timidity echo ras adinum. Obesha, now execution rate here 120%. HSE wako amana broso first the inception period to 120%. I feel within the same period, Osha differences na eba acquire to onye below 70 in terms of actual budget and actual. What the kabuma are ordained by this administration is so important. Now, Oba capitation grant, you can phrase it. You share capitation grant, and yet a buy way no the capitation a buy no quarry there. I think 2015, go for time. Good. Wamano a new face over the period. A buying car a capitation grant mo. Share budget, share actual, national execution rate of the government. A beer na a core below even 40% over the period. A share not only free education, but capitation po a hoarding by this and government a was brave. I feel bad be to say grants to special schools. Yen you anma sabi omadi dem na se for. Nanka ye ye near fiso. Years ago, na yen kai yen you anumpo. But a buying grants a call yen you anumobadi dem. A pajan share execution rate. A bit more than 100% over the period. A share commitment not only in SHS, but rather capitation grants, the special school grants. Now, your free big capes. A bank has said free SHS and offer a new enrollment in Kwa or be expanded infrastructures. Finance and Akusi saying it's almost over the period. If your basic education with free SHS, a konanim bebre. Na saa nsɛm nyinaa na yɛka a yɛbɔ ne tɔfa sɛ wowɔ abɔfra na obi na ɛbɛnyɛ nam awɔ a na ɔyɛ agya papa a na ɔnyɛ agya papa. Na last time meka Winneba sɛ education ministry no adeɛ a ɔmfa moma ammoa yɛn bebree sɛ nka wɔmbɛkyerɛ sɛ agya awofoɔ afei ɔba na ɔba fie no saa bill wei na ɔsɛ ɔba na ɔbɛtua. Ɛwɔ sɛ ɔba no kɔ fie a yɛbɛza yɛ accountant otumi printi wo statement ɛkyerɛ sɛ anka wobɛtua about 3,000 to the school for your education, but because of free education ti saa bill yɛde ma wo ifa kɔma wo papa no maame sɛ yɛde akyɛ wo free nti womɛtua saa sika no anka yɛbɛte the free education policy no ase yie yɛanyɛ saa ma yɛn nti yɛfo no sɛ ɛyɛ saa na te ɛnka akyiri ɔmo nsan kɔ back na yɛn nuanom sika a yɛtua aban no tua ma wo nyinaa yɛ free no yɛn print certificate anaasɛ report ɛkyerɛ sɛ ɔba ne ba school 3 years ni sika na ɔsɛ nka wo utua ma aban ni because of policy wei nti yɛde akyɛw wo sɛ fa no free yɛyɛ a yɛbɛte aseɛ. Asɛm a yɛka ne sɛ yɛnka sɛ yɛakɔ 100% yɛn ho atɔ yɛn ɛnokware na mmom sɛ wowɔ ba a woa na ɛwɔ sɛ ɔyɛ dɛn wotete no yɛmfa ɔba a wawo no nkɔmmɔ obi sɛ ɔntete no nti sɛ free education yi a ɛsɛ kyɛ sɛ aban wei na ɔwo no deɛ a ɛne neɛ ɔno ne wo no no ɛwɔ sɛ saa ne ɛde ma no na ɔhwɛ akwala no. Neɛ ama yɛka saa ne sɛ over the years yɛde nneɛma bi ma aban bi sɛ ɔnhwɛ ne ma yɛn ɛkɔsi sɛn menka wo bi anaa sada Northern Development Plan ɛna ɔmba ɛna ɔmyɛ ne dɛn sada ɛnɛ ɛwɛn National Health Insurance increased at the point in time. I mean, say it was almost 2009, 2016. Now it was 12.5. Yɛde maa ɔmo no ɛte baafo enrollment to 11 point something. Aban san bɛfa n'adeɛ no. To say it was 17.5 or so enrollment. Enti owo ba me fa mo bi so nhwe no. Yen hwe omo de bibi to say capitation, insurance capitation. E bye. Enti almost at the point ka ya collapse the scheme. Yewura Kufuado e de bibi e bye. Em say Yewura John Kufuor Adokufo ɛkɔsi sɛ Metro Mass wobɛkae yɛn wakra no yɛkae o it was a baby ɛna ɛgyaa saa baby no ɛsɛ obi nhwɛ so man ɛnɛ Metro Mass ɛkɔsi sɛ kaa no mpo ho wɛn wohu bi ma na mekae kaa na wokɔto aba a wohu sɛ na wobɛto no yie school feeding na wabu nkotodwe yɛgya maa no no obu nkotodwe ɛna school feeding yɛhu sika akɔhyɛ mu menua ɛnyɛ politics ne yɛbɛka ne sɛ wowo ba a ma ne ɔwɔ akwalaa no ɔno ara nhwɛ akwalaa no yɛwie.
me say Prophet Trinity, I was say, oh, ba, the work, and I'm online there, wanted to know. Another round of applause for him. And they said the main call homeboy ho, Dr. Emmanuel Upokumafo, lecturer, Department of Entrepreneurship and Business Sciences, University of Energy and Natural Resources. Pashaman Akwaba.
Thank you. I thank organizers for organizing this program to educate ourselves, and that we also been able to get messages to tell our people. I double as a regional financial secretary at Ahafu region, and that I'll do my best to explain certain policy and program that our party is also leveraging on to win votes, so that if you get the opportunity to speak on any radio or any discussion, you can explain yourself to the people. I'll do my best to make up for the tree and everything. Thank you. Topic I'm penny for Kenny na a nema yabain a ship kenapa dia ba ama abuayen na I know so the degree home Emma Yahuya Kono said there be any paper about Eddie Amay. Na kakra me debe so no is on a program that is the domestic gold purchase program, which our party advised through the central bank to have it help solve our problems that we are all facing. Say Ghana and in Nigeria, and can you oil and chain Nigeria? Time on Nigeria, it oil, they discover Bukra. And so when the economic crisis hit the whole world, the COVID-19 and the Russia-Ukraine war, they all went into darkness, no fuel to power their energy. And they were also being in lines. Everybody who saw Mukita gallons, no more nam, no more per fuel at all. Ghana, Yahubi. Almighty South Africa was in doomsday in recent time. Ghana, Yahubi. Now, I just say, yeah, the 3 year, and I say, Bibikake, at a CNT, am I the young who's an emano? I drink Cassia and then Shabia, na Yen Ra, His Excellency, the Vice President, Eddie Tuja, at 2 o'clock, and Tia Yen who's an emano. And as I speak, so we share the pump, ex-pump price, Fuko petrol station, the CSA auto petrol price. You can see, say, the price, you know, say the next year, during COVID time from 19 cities, and can you take a share break and about 30 cities per gallon or liter. And so still, we are controlling it. And I think we are behind these two programs. Now, many times, you know, say, I call radio, they explain here, we try to confuse the two. It's a name, kakra. The difference between the purchasing side and then the exchange for oil and the contribution to the economy. Abra Yabashas here in June 2021. Na anka yen Ghana aye di dwie ho say ye yesika kokko mine. Na ye reserve said the earlier speaker kan no na kitwe bi. It was moving around 8.7 tons. At that time, na US 8,103 tons, United States. Then, at that time, let me refer to the data for you to give the exact ones because media people are here. I don't want to quote any wrong figures. So when we were having that, the US was having this number, and then the Germany was having 3,352 tons. IMF, the Almighty, also having 2,814 tons. And Italy was having 2,451. And that of the France was also having 2,437. If you look at this, the countries that they buy the gold from us, they have these results. And the reserve that they have, we were not matching them at all. And when we even come to the African context, Nigeria, our brothers, were having about, please let me give you the correct figures here. Nigeria was having 21.3 tons, 21, not 200, 21.3. Morocco was having 22.12. Mauritius was having 12.42 tons. And Ghana, even last year, we were leading in gold production and export, and we are having just 8. So even with the African context, we are nowhere behind. So the Vice President had a quote say that if we Ghanaians that have been mining this gold for centuries have not been able to match even to some of the leading reserves in Africa. So we decided to go into that tangent. So, then we started. And Bank of Ghana predicted that for the first 5 years, we'll be able to move it from 8.7 to 17.7. But the first year, they were able to purchase 7.7. So if the program is for 5 years and the first year have been able to do this, it means that it's giving us a good indication that we can meet the target. And I borrowed from the previous presenter saying that as at now, we have 65 tons. So if you compare to the African nations now, we can top them. Who do that? It's our Vice President. And since independence, we've not been able to reach that timestone, but now we are there. And some people are saying that if we don't have this reserve, why do you have to embark on using it to exchange in the butter trading for oil? I said we would do so. Because we knew the trend and how to get this thing done, and that we decided to produce. And critics were saying that if you are to use your reserves to buy the oil, a time may come that Ghana will exhaust its oil resources underground. Then he taxed the Geological Service. Give us the quantum, the data of all the reserves the Ghanaians have underneath, so that we may know our predictions to be right. And here my Geological Service before said, "Omun kwasa sinumuna yenhwehwe." Na ebededi said from Axim to Winneba, from Winneba to Nandodi, then to Laura. Ghana has 7 gold belts. And this belt, if we are to calculate the quantity, is about 43,000 kilometers square. And all these things are gold. And the research was indicating that half of these 43,000 kilometers had not even been mined. In 2, a fakra. And the final crown of Sekasa Yetua, the value no, there were 5 billion ounces of gold a share form. And the Bemana Sheho, near for gallon, I could line. The Bemana Sheho, near a sumu, Debbie. You will find one journey. At the Vice President, I say, and you too. So we started contracting people from the diaspora to come and help. And he had an idea that since in Nkrumah regime or Nkrumah time, say Adrian said, Yeni Ankasa Yebesuya said they see 2 machines are and can no be and check percentages. But yeah, now you don't no more to no more make a crabby. So now we send some people outside to be trained and know how to mine this. Now you're near to your dear, near a boy bra. Now the share form honomuna yet to value no. It's about $10 trillion. Which says, see, you move 5% to Krampuna, Ghana, of our small population, can be looked as Texas. Now, when he beat me, Aboyame and said to me, Aka, here, can before all vision. And you can do for this, or better the Hodom, now was spending. Now, you want to say, gold price, air cost row. That's a fuel price, air cost row. Because of the crisis that has hit the whole world, which Ghana is included, we need to think. And that thinking is the problem for some people. We know how you know, but Panini, any Panina, Asamba, Obetibet name, and a more, I say, not a solve a problem. And then they'll become a new meaning home, Nayana, yet, soon our problem, and that's your solution. by a vice president, a boy, and my solution. Now, Okachran said, gold na you two no, so you two are. I the corner cotonia the dollar. Dollar no be near sign a peja oil. At the abra na yaba be wish Ghana ha. Na abrebia no so no gold na ye de corner. Any oil na ye tono and ye pay. Mantibiano ye here 400 million metric tons of oil, which costs about $400 million. It is every month to be here $400 million, and a cofa oil aba. And he find the dollars in the free. The best is Ghana here near the accord. And the more you demand for these dollars, no, near the accord, no, not dollars to be ni hono, and the benefit. Adebia will pay na any hono. I am an abo a yeting. It you will say, a neighbor be more. If you say, yes, $6 a walk Ghana Henina at the command and for. Lempokra gold and say, Konya Cotonia, my dollar no crumple, a bedruno. Not dollar no crumple, Sansa. Say the Cota. And the bed, young be bitter said, they can no butter trade. Naturally, because can continue through. No Masaba Sissan, aside their court there, and then with the mineral no, a year gold no. A better or Maya or oil are open gold. Nam speak it a gold. And the G president, and him, who say, during the crisis, no, Ada Petrobo, a costro, impact, a costro, no. Nagana, yet, no, I stable. And as I speak, it is so stable. If you know when you've been told, by hand the Nabi, and you know, say you who say fuel pumping no station, no, say prices in our former, simply because you have physical cash, and I say you necessary care organ has no mono, and the cocotoe, you the gold no and the core na yachi. Na my mom so who say gold na de corner, and yes, say a bedroom baby na jay quem. A dosu chain a bit to me a tukra. Then say my phone now so I will be. Now you hear in addition who say near yet to me at the Akaya Reserve home. And in near your day aqua among aquaji oil ninano, a more 80% every well established corporations like Nemont, Anglo and well established mining companies, you know, a whole and a tour 80% at the free. Now 20% free artisanal small scale miners. We baby say now Galamsey issues if we've been able to formalize the operations of the Galamsey groupings by strengthening our regulations to engage in the community mining, where they'll be working under strict regulations monitored by the Ministry of Mines and Energy or the Mineral Commission and all stakeholders coming on board. You'll be able to get more import and benefit from these Galamsey operations. But now it has become a bone of contention that is something that we don't even need to mention it. It's simply because we did not abide by the rules governing these operations. And share that one, you find Yajuma, and don't think a cost instead of benefit to us. But say Kayena Yetiasia the Mrewa Hono Ayajuma, and Casabria artisanal for MA 20%. Not normal or formal organizations are giving us the 80% no, and can almost be no contribution to us. And no, and acquire illegal mine of gold from our soil. It may do Dubai, while any data on it in the country. It's just say we've not formalizing it. We allow it, and that has even cost the nation by destroying our river bodies. And don't you know? The Galamsey work that we see, as at now, we see it as an enemy operations. Operations that we are not expecting to see. But in advanced countries, they've been able to regularize it, and they've been operating using gold catcher machines, which are not using mercury and cyanide. And it's not having any environmental defect. And they are benefiting, adding on to their reserves. But we are only making the law as something that we don't want to respect and that we are frowning our face against the operations of galamsey. It is something that we need to regularize it to make profit and make benefit for our nation. Again, the gold for oil evidence to show that it has been doing much well. Before we received the first consignment on the 15th of January 2023 for gold exchange for oil, our price began to fall. But before then, in October 2022, the crude oil on the international market was $99 per barrel. At that time, our pump stations were selling a liter at 19.8. So when our consignment started coming in, the first two came in, and the price fell in October 2023. Imagine a 12-month period. For October 2022, it was 19.8 per liter. Then October 2023, it fell to 12.8. It means 7 cedis reduction has been on the liter price. That is the effect and the impact of the exchange of gold for oil. And as I speak, we are still enjoying that. So it means that this kind of brainchild that has come to support the Ghanaian economy is helping building our society. And we know that the fuel drives our economy greatly. It affects our transportation, and anything that we consume are carried and conveyed by transport. And when the fuel price goes up, it affects all other costs of product that we do consume. So we see that the economic situation is hardship in the economy simply because our fuel prices were escalating. And due to this model, it has been able to reduce. Critics were still arguing that the system is not transparent. So, Amanfobi Efaso Eyenema Emfata in the country because they did good Nikon. They bring illegal kind of operations to come in to operating. And the government said, no, we ourselves will do it directly using barter trade system or model. Or we'll allow the oil dealers to come in as a middleman, as brokers, to also support the government. But we will engage the NPA, National Petroleum Authority, to help in regularizing the prices of our crude products. So in this case, it is not something that anybody at all can just jump into it and begin to buy the gold and export it for oil into the country. No, we need to be controlled by the NPA, that's the National Petroleum Authority. And with this, all of us are enjoying seeing the lights on, seeing the power that we need, and then we've not been queuing, we've not been sleeping or studying in darkness, all because of this milestone program that our government has introduced into the country. Last to sit, now everybody's mind in the country thinking that gold is something that we bent on. Cocoa is something we bent on. Last year, we had only 1.107 billion cedis for cocoa export revenue that we got. But for the first year, gold for oil exchange, the Ghana was able to realize, and Bank of Ghana was able to purchase 1.7 billion value of gold. So it means that the bank itself is giving the Bank of Ghana the capacity to use our local currency, CD, to purchase it. And this, we don't need any kind of exchange rate. We are not putting pressure on the dollar. So we see that our dollar is now stable. So all these things are not just happening for happiness sake. It has been some people's thinking, some people's ideologies that is bringing all these things for us to see in reality. And you know, penyophobia, your man penina abediachre nom eka ho ene hwe masane ma we se nyina no yehunu yehu koko se eno na Ghana nyina ya ho odin gyina so. And so they compare gold for oil business operations now. The gains in there is even greater than what we had in the cocoa export revenue. So we don't need to be seeing that it is canker to the nation. Last now, Zuma said, now Ghana has always been thinking about gold, cocoa, timber, and the rest. And we're all losing the sight of the remittances that we also get from the diaspora. The money is scar, you know, no more free, amanone ediba. Na obia adwene eniho. But your man penya be de kire amayati asese. Saade no kwa no a chain one agency revenue edibe ma o man no. Because 2023 cocoa board MI 1.107 billion dollars. But the diaspora remittances is 4.6 billion compared to cocoa board. And so you have no bia nim say or pejuma ye or pebia recreative cocoa board. But the diaspora money that come to the country, we don't even look at it. Then and we beat him by which they say a man penina didn't he has a vision. And no one it solve the huge chunk of our problems. But I ignore. So when people deposit money in the diaspora, they only take our cities in Ghana here. So this 4.6 billion dollars, where it can be found? The general breach the whole. And if now G dollar no, I'm a wabeji city no Ghana, na dollar no akaho. So in this case, we are locking up our own hard currency there. And when we come to Ghana and we want to exchange dollar, we can't find it. It is there. And that is pushing pressure on the product because anything that you cannot find it and you want it, the price goes up. So now our president is saying that we are going to enforce the BOG, that's the Bank of Ghana, to making sure that the Ghana government have an account in there so that if you want an exchange, you want to drop money to your children or your parents, whatever, you drop that money, it goes to their account, and then take the city here. So we can account that money as our money. And that will increase the supply of the dollar into the Ghanaian economy. So this kind of thinking, if you are not like somebody like our vice president, you may never think around that. So the point I'm making here is that when we are choosing leaders, we want people who can find solutions to situational problems, not somebody who will be adding himself to that where is the problem solution can be found. In that case, we are all leaders and we are all subjects. So it takes a good leader to always be able to address situations when problems that are unexpected comes in. At the president, no know you bia you who say, Adibi Obia crying me hono, Ubehuana in na odiaba. At Mestre say, Yenuanum communicators say, Oh Hanum, wouldn't Tibia na ebe far, ye bet church remuno. Young church remus say, saying na, the basic I implemented the benefits no a saying, Manipani who in reality say, Enunie, na a basa also be who say, or Tua Bana. Now you know ebe called fine. If we say yen ura binuma umatra or mine sopen, ye nim the omodi kind aye. But yen ura baumia, ye drew baby, na say yen hune yen po, will be a drain ebe fiaba. Never be about no mama who take him surprise. But it solves a problem. Those people are the leaders. And there are not many. So we are fortunate to get such people for us to lead the nation. And you will be a keke. Etibesre say another day in some of your henina the earlier speakers are kenning na ye be makwan ama questions time aba na ye bisa na ye chirechirem kakra na entiase aba na ye kwa ye nya bi ede aka entino ebra maduru so no be ja kasemu no ama ye moderator na wo de atwa fa ka so medase.
Thank you very much, Doc. Now, say the doc is really broke for you. Doc, a BT and kind for no. Another round of applause for him. Very upon one, sir, just one round of questions. It will do 1 or 2 questions. Be wow. Open your patch, maybe the microphone back down. What Gianna, what Budina straight away no. Me patch up, Momenia no. Snap you in Kakrebi, na yenko. Yeah.
What I say? You're from Dr. Ochre Watting. Me a Juma Sunyani Technical University. Me a deputy registrar, so I can't soon for a pension.
Oh.
Me person me kasafa a new mummy. A contribution nanka me de ma Dr. Donfe. Oh, says here, Professor Bodima presentation, you know. My change of mind into me direct siamano. I was for say Professor Bodiaka interventions bibri a government aye ediaboa or mini a munipa bibri. Mobakaya and Chavia 2020 COVID-19 by after 2020 muna lockdown also by lockdown muno ribisi Emma, you better not fear young Quajumano. Young penny for be crack as and come in Triaca. Now, so, me a labor unionist, me a labor union leader, into me casa humbipa, me bufu, me conhunto cabibri. Esan says a cotiano, it be cry a senka, yintria, basic salary, no, na allowances no yinjai. Now, so your casa honsenka, a buying entry as a scana, Miss Abrin come. If you say na, ye juma university, moon him say a payroll allowances, no, and one I had share home, a dozen chain, a basic salary, no. So now my GG loans are move best 30% when the Bama or the Akan loans. Minia Dr. Nyako how nim. Even your tutor school fees, the PhD, Nina, I can't. And so I buy 8 years and a Sicano Utria mine. Now you nim say a new chino. You better for your salary, send your countries be a no. And no Nina, I must have buying a Fasaka in Adia to know. So, intimate per se, your Kai sad you will not your Cassa. Me family work and see. Na what you be a crime. Me kotina bas mo me konto ko bibri o mo e kasa me decide e ba no ma no aka tun ba ko a etoso pa ehia me ye prof ka capacity building ho asem abaya ye nhihye bi e wo accelerated oil and gas capacity building sa nhihye na o de ba ye no e ye challenge bi a researchers no bi hu ye one professor Dr. Paul Frimpong odo do ko hu say oil production no rig no so ye wo bruni bia or ye juma wo ha sa bruni no yakofa no as a foreign expatriate a o ye juma wo ha dollars a editua nka order 5-star hotel Nigeria at the 5-star hotel ne mada hobi ne mako school Ghana International School sika aban de hwe no sa sika ne betumi atua salaries of about 60 people wo Ghana ha nipa ba ko pe or ye just welder and assess can you three man so be your welding e wo rig no so ye hun send certificate kuta no or technical school or Singapore Reverend Father been assigned a certificate no Reverend Father or John Bosco school be or Singapore ni nyina ne say sa accelerated gas capacity building no ye Ghana has say any welders cry itumi ye welding bi ne pipe fitting say na ye ni bi enu nti no omko hu saade we say aban eyisika to ho eye say yenye yenyina yenhia ye frefre technical university CB ne other universities no bi ko hia say ye hwe kwan ye be pass ne ko training Ghanaians e wo Canada amasa capacity building no yetumi anya nipa Ghanaians on be ye adwuma wo rig ne so ampa di kan nipa me nsa pe ne ko ye e wo mu a sese yenya ye wo nipa be say 25 o makwa ba asankofo no nyina no and yes, someone could train as well as no be juma. Yes, I almost be training for Ghana. And to say, sir, intervention, I say, Prof. the can next slides. Men am Kujinamu, Petroleum Commission frame, I mean, I'm Kujinamu Technical University. And watching, we have been able to establish the Ghana Welding Bureau. We as I say, who are be training up to that level, Biano. Also, be a member to the Ghana Institution of Engineering.
Wow.
And Mestre say ye fanka edu ba bi na ye kasa ye fasa ade nyina nka ho me wo ho documents e wo ho wo a upe ehun nim bia no metimi dia amount prof mestre o me the documents no be ma na ye di ho nkomo e kire bi fufuro ha e be ka ho asem na so no de me de sika ya nti mestre
opanyi pa cho ye da ase nyame nsaw ye po e be di nkomo pa so fama mami.
Thank you.
Yes sir.
Within the Kwakutia Ose. I'm a lecturer, STU.
Senior lecturer.
Senior lecturer.
It didn't come easy, so mention it. I beg you.
Senior lecturer, accounting and finance. I am a taco radio, so one mutati economic issue. Nimdia FM, Mitaka South, and AKFM. So, per se, my contribution, communicators, and so. With me, we so I carry on to communicate. So here communication, because so abanya bokazi say Ghana yeka adru say ye check akura obi benya say. One thing is say e kano e den e buy then na Ghana yaboka kudus. Even let's assume say 2016 NDC free sukran. Ka na omo aboda ho no. Se MPP mfa bi kura nka ho. Enna yesi di no depreciate aduru ba bi aduru no a nka enye the same debt. Kaka no enso ekoso. Na ka aban abo no the major problem we won say Ghana for dodo say na ituato. Our revenue stream no isa. Nipa ituato no isa. Even I'm talking about the direct one. The indirect one no kra indirect tax kra ese itua no. Ghana for dodo say na a taxable product. That is say ebia Ghana ni mitu kwa me ko ebia Kumasi me koda hotel na metua VAT obi kokora ofre na danfo me beda wo nchen che say sa na ema ni nyina ma government no enya the revenue enti the revenue stream no isa ewo man no mu enti ma the only way aban betimi aye ni project say obebo bosia enti say aban bobosia which means say project na aban person ye no ye ni ho resources ye ni ho sika aban de be e na ma aban bobosia na say so there are evidence I actually say bosia na aban boy no yetimi hu say we ekoso nti communicators nso okọ na se mo kokasa ye hu say bosia na aban ko boy no the reason is say revenue yesika no yanka say yesika no esa and two bosia na ekoboy no so yetimi dey identify enema one or two bia ebetimi di aye ahu asem no ase ye mra ye di hihye sa ne man mra no ewo fam ukọ South Africa wontimi nsore nko bureau se okwa akoto foreign currency. Once I want my money, we hear foreign currency for anything. Here, foreign currency. And Mestre Prof. Na say, omo ye policy recommendation. Na omo say, so we are mind moody. We hear they can only buy the foreign currency, but they cannot sell the foreign currency. That should be one policy. So ombet me to foreign currency no every amount for. But omuni kwan say omoton foreign currency because man mu we hear currency for anything. Then the last point.
So within the say
kwakutua osei.
Say kame ye examiner kame busa say woni Dr. Bano one copy no yonko. Doc, I said this man work the same thing I was worker. And interestingly I think say South Africa for anamboa. What's what South Africa dana?
We try UK.
And the report na hobi da. Yeah. Okay. He has a huge paper on it in Jamaica.
Okay, the last point.
Yes.
Say yeah, most of major companies are here export nina. They create offshore account, foreign account.
Yeah.
To omo koton ni emana no mo sika no ho. Na omo ba Ghana na se omo hia sika akoto ni emefra mo ni a. Na omo abeji ye dollars na ye wo ha no. Now, we are quakoto. And what government can do, ni say we need tax clearance certificate. And say you $10 amount.
And it be see why. Medasi. My member or Baba ko. Medasi. Okay. Or Baba ko. Papain. And now, we don't have no be to cover it. Because me here to wager. But it is Pasokasa.
Me pacho ye frame me Beatrice and petition.
Okay.
Me pacho me how ne say omo beto aba. Aya mu hia oman no mwa. Say ya ye nto aba nye den emfa mamu. Ba ye tie mu asam so ne ye to aba ma mu wi a. Ne ye so ye hia no ya mo nye mae. Eno na kire ma wi.
We dey omo ba ha no ma no abusa wo mo. And I say a man, Omo Mahanamwa, Omunya Maha, to Mobahan no Busa. All right.
Me pacho.
Mpasha meet you.
Your friend me mami ke papa bi.
Mami de papa bi.
Papa bi.
Ampa.
Juma die we edama kuma so pa.
Yedasi.
Na mi bu sampanyimfo se. Free SHS ho asem. Yene ya ban ye hu sene ye maame mo. Ebre yi ntoma wa dakam. Ena ne ye de hwe sampanyimfo yi. Enne ya kwanya bebrebe we ya. Ye meye nya mu chefen. O ma che. Senka o mo print fees no. Ede man kwala no koma yawofo. Abanya ye adwuma de entise. Afa ni ye be ye hu adwuma de amesrɛ mo. Mo kwa mo nhye mo kena. Na mo fa ma mofra no na abanya ye adwuma wo free SHS pa. Ene wo hwa ye mana awie level 400 papa ya posti wo mo. Kwala no fa wo mo ba be sin akwa yes service. Aban beni mesrɛ mo. Mache onye hu adwuma emfa mai medase.
With the echoes of Winneba repeated here. I open pacho mo anonko.
Your friend me your benfi.
Baso yenti open ya benfi Mr. Mo. Last but one.
Adeba ko am say muja wo money sa free a friend said no 24-hour economy mon kan ho hwe.
Yen kan. Say yen wodi. Yen kan because yen kan. See I can't yank your beka.
No. We are talking about says I'm some bar, some dedicate and you to a bar.
Okay.
Yet me who baby better abanako.
Okay.
The worker some no convincing me 24-hour economy be bar.
All right.
2016. Obi bar say me the free education be bar me boy.
Yeah, Bashwani.
And workers are convincing and ye to man and what they buy. Now somebody is telling us say or the free
24-hour economy
bar.
It will issue no.
Yes, and now there's confusion.
Okay.
But my mentor 24-hour economy no and to me unless there's industrialization.
I see.
So industries in Iwa, yen to me 24-hour economy. Ghana there are only 2 cities are building for 24-hour economy, Tema and a Samara Boy.
Samara Boy?
Yes. Some are better than Tema because it was built by a company, the whole company, no, the whole town.
I see.
Me feel I'm in Crown University in 1975 when I'm a I stayed there for 8 years. Now, so about 24 economy now, this is raw materials are what they buy, and Samara Boy was controlling about 70% of Ghana's forest products, forestry. Papa no, up to now, that's a woman some. Also, timber firms and do pan will come say. Almost all of them are good. I can't about 3 timber firms now operate Kumasi. All because women need concessions since they say all the concessions actually some rubber in them and some. Now, some rubber in I say I could foreigners in Temo and some.
Yeah,
Lebanese women are fire natural resources. The yet med. Obio yet more hobiano, omko 3 ships. Now, beside me say, the woman can say, you better praise for nipa be near the near the. Who yet more honor Ghana for one nipa in the day anajo. We have no best me buana. And you didn't say home. Yes, me had no home. One may yet my 3 to 11. No. After 7, obi on my break on my diane. And if you know about 11, upon and upon 7, or by 11 upon 7 now, obedi.
Chief, and I send you bit for consultant on 24-hour economy.
Yes, people need to be educated on the 24-hour economy.
Okay.
Say and now, so but now we see factory there. And yeah, when what me operate 24-hour economy no.
Basho, medasi.
And you mentioned you too. I did was here and say. Ghana say ye to abama omana ba I was here near technocracy be now there should be a development agenda free National Development Planning Commission.
Okay, I was going to say that.
What is saying now? If you know what you monitor say ye we say near the man could say go Ghana ye yasasi we say and ye me shemu no ma bia ni bi and you betimi dia ye hu yiye. Look, Britain now we talk category. I won't say actually on Sheffield. Meboana.
And Sheffield.
Sheffield, not the Sasson Boys are almost see iron and sea industry. And when we better friends and products. And you know, my papa say he was proud, say, or no, we use to sign money be Sheffield, never know use to.
Okay.
And yes, you bet me, I be saying, yeah, near my one. After a year, war iron ore, away assassin. A be war upon Mansi Western region, it's him. Yeah, yen 2 years. Korea, almost me develop because the Samsung, they were sea industries, almost at a shipbuilding. I feel want to take over the whole world. I don't know now, but from 80s to early 2000, they were leading the shipbuilding, the whole world.
Okay, open your battle. Me that's more fast like a man. And yes, I battle. Now me call my brand TV so. My call me Samra. My call brand TV so. Yes.
All right.
Battle brief, eh?
Okay. I'm currently a student from UNE. My name
from
is
UNE.
Yeah.
Your lecturer is here.
Yes, sir.
So
my question is about the taste that Doctor talk about.
The taste.
Yeah.
Taste.
The taste.
Okay.
Which the taste.
Yes.
Need dena ewo yina so say be a obi epe foreign goods and I say inti nyame adom na say Dr. Mahamudu Baomi abet na so it's possible. How ben na ana kwan horo ben na umbetime edie yi saa edena also cause say sha even ya goods cry or Ghana ya made in Ghana goods no me am ya cry
umpe
yeah cause the quality no enche and also I am wame it say ya be say edi sa eyine so na yete sa taste ni so a e wo say mo ye nhyehyɛ bia ebeboa na ama eswate.
All right. Medasi. Now, let me remind that we are live on Facebook as well as on YouTube. Now, obi the comment be by was say taste the day. I say get my plastic surgery. I just had the father. All right, Basho, last question. Now you trust now. Basho, I never carry on by the book or why say be ya yen hand mo if him. Basho man microphone. Oh, yeah, WA. Chief, Madame. Who's that for?
Our penny about within the Ericus fear prime fear no.
Ericus, okay.
Fear no. Opinion about that was said, you might yet say what you may be bromantum ha. Now, opinion more my education, dear. May war a some to be a better, maybe some more edify a youth employment agency for elsewhere.
Okay.
Government young expenditure a war free education.
Yeah.
But this year, yeah, make us say, who say, why you so at the mobile be and sorry, from technical investing Akrano. Yen you have been with her, woman so identity of her, yet and choose in our Amaya.
Yeah.
Kakra, as a band the Mayan so, or Guswa, or Tria at the Mayan. It's in perceiving who say, Yan so yadiano. Your financier, him for Medasi.
All right, Medasi. I think that there's a law establishing, so I didn't know. Well, but your chief.
Medasi. Madam Asi. Me wa question na penifo mobile no. Mon kyerɛ me kwan a mo betumi aso problem we ya no. Se mo tu me fo, mo tu abanfo a. Madam fo bi a me no nam ha sisi e wasɔre kɔ. Oye electrical engineer.
Okay.
Otumiji contract 60,000, 80,000. No way you will be dying. Untia tax. Me market ya fiano. Bosume besona abanyati. Kwan pain. Ni afutuo pain. Ana mode be ma me say. Mo betumi aye nhihye ma sa nipa no. Ono so atumi eden etua tax. E de ama o man no. Ye tosu mienu me pese me hu say o man we control price ebetumi aye adwuma beye bosumi mi ensani madam for be frame me say onya connection bi obi di niema bi ba na ese okoyi niema no port sikasem ne ade nti no ndo wo so woni hu djuma okra 200,000 Ghana cedis edi ko shemu within a period of 1 week wakoyi niema no edi ama omutu niema no ne mfaso esan ye 200,000 ntini nyina ko si 400,000 ne mfaso ye 200,000 nti se ye chichire man se ya ye bekoye nim sen okay kwan ben ene ye befaso a ye betumi se control price e betumi aba ne ye twa to okra eye Bank of Ghana ene me the politics be fam kakra Dr. Baumia ade a medi ne ho yaw eni CD a ye ka ho asemi me a me wo ha manko school yi a me gina ha sisi yi me nim kwan ya fa so ye bu akontan ye hihye ne ma nyina enti me wo man we mu na se dollar enye yen na ye twa eye me de se doctor no ka say ne kan say afi the Bank of Ghana shares ye say ye the Ghana card and the better dollar and I beji dollar enti say ye ntumi trace dollar hu say makoji dollar bia dollar du e de aba emu ba kon efa ha emu mienu fa ha emu miensa fa ha na say ye hwe ne sa say amount for selfish interest in tea dollar no empitim fa baby ya na me pese me hu say eye boapaye Bank of Ghana for eye boapaye eye selfish interest anasa ye den because want to be in country them say na mo ka mo brofo kan sem eye nyina me ngini se ne ma ye export to e do so sen ne ye export to do so sen ne ye import to osedenyo me ngi sa ne ma ni ngini me gidie di say dollar no ye ntimi hwe baabia efa ni baabia ensese efa me gidie ni say zamara mani ete kwan ho esisa dollar a mi krom ha ya akura ye we sunya ha ya ye ndi dwa kese kura no minim obi a ono ewo dollar no na wode amazamara mafo no makosisa sa suban no ye be ye den de etumatu ase medase pa na wadamfo na waje contract 60,000 awuntua tax ne de megidi se eye pass wo call ya answer guza question we me ba sure yam say questions in we prof doc which one are we filled na yehu we've got 10 minutes to deal with it.
I will say two things. Now the we last you now otua tax but before that na ye mame very good contribution say I was say education ministry na omboayen I will say ye part of in church so ye church ye classroom nko a enti ye so pia ba bonten a ye jai classroom ato ho a ye education bi enti ye enam from am so enti ye gide say your ministry no enka akire say omo be ye ne hia na abo oman no enti ye som ye tax issue no em say nwa no ni ha enti hu de enti betima kana chi asam na ye no kware nyo no nko a there are other people are almost intimate. Aban no near a ma a easy man so begis cafe or yen you tear directly to Bosum Swan a teacher ni unihow aban no as what yen you are no ma omunisa sources no on better tenor and any problem but ye hear one education I was a sa ankran kwen yet me be some nientia on to tax no that's the first thing tax education I idea be boa masa de etimi aso no yenta me kasa ne se na se won se ekoto shops be bremu akra na ye nim se aban wo to me se etutum ya kasa tia no but in tax law no omomra se untua I was se etum e kwa mo fa so be bre na ampe there could have been other ways to solve that problem. Jeremiah says about 13% or so people are behind the tax bracket. There are so many people are omuntia. And untina, the flat rate is very important. Because until even say a double tax in Ghana here, utia COVID, utia insurance. Now assign the 15%. No assign calculate assign tia every. Tabansha, yes, have flat rate now. A man yokutia and yen because tax components, they are attributes. Tax must be convenient. Tax to be equitable. Okutia also tia say, sadin in our course we are on okutia very easy. So betia I'm a buying. That's
all right, Prophet. That's it. Doc.
Yo, very immediately. They're now all kind of my main being so about the taxes and yo hey, yana yenuamo etako amanone US, Germany, and other places. Ye betina omo can say Mekoye makoye juma ma ubi ama nipakro afamisika edi. Atisa asem bi da. Say yete. De ewo honi. Yenu ama omu firi akododo na ase be predators na enye enkrata na omo de kono. Omu kwa omu koye cleaning. Ebi so emerwa na omu anyinyini no.
Doc omaye
na omu ti omu na ede. Omu hwe omu. Na ye mu omu Sanjuma na omukoye na ense da nimu no nketenkete ni nyina no se abrochi na mo no obi ba me fie na obeye cleaning na me tumi bottom yi $2 kra amana emra ne de me betum no omu system no ma hihye ne makama ti se uye cleaner na oba me fie a adwuma e de obeye na ese de me tua woka through your account. It is a Juma Mufina Wuni bank account. A Juma Siagu Mintiaka. It is Diana when is a beer, me Makwa Bruche, the mini peepers in Intino, Minti Minia day, Minti Min could be a bank account. It is a minia in a day, Makakotuna at the Wagan and Yanamako Catcher, and Nama Ginny Dini, Tikamede Jordan Fay, Mikwana Makofa day, Frank Bano. Namade no corner to say, Mikoye cleaning, we are near this Canada. Atun account and sana me ede me inside aka until say this am running science any be bano e be ye din pass informal sectors no ombetua de na me nua yi kan me a me fie nkran obi be ye adwuma o within about 5 days no awie obato tax o give me 8,000 owie ana akwa no 5 days na oba ye ni nyina no odi na na akufu ado atem di na tem de say o ye ni pamoni ni eno oba ye kra de ye ho kire anti Nina na me hwe no ma nso no so da na da mi tua ne ka no na me ka kire ne say me TBD akutua tax because ban akutua tax na akufu ado the last time I check mana stop raining during what Moses time mana nto abrochi na ayeye no akwa bi na dwemu ka ne kakra fe no Twini Jonas o say that glass nko a e ho tax a wo betua no wo ka Oko paki o car crack ya buy anka mapaki me car hey me we am ko tua ho tax so that is why omoniama nyina dey aye yesa no uko oma bi disa Denmark wo ye adwuma na wunya 100 emu 48 wo de ma dey abai Ghana your tax to GDP ratio it hovers around 14-15 ti Ghana wo ye adwuma na nya 100 cities on average na abai sika wo say 15 na obi enya 48 officer wetwene na yepe yentua yentua so no yenia na yesa a complain na madam ba ko say mo ba na mabeka kire say yentua ba mama yetoma madam mo pese yenya so da mo nye madam omo ye pa me can the year 2021 once much 2021 ye total tax ya yenyinya yenyina no e wo Ghana ha ye tax revenue yenya yenyina no na 66 billion Ghana cedis. Abano, afeno, Bosia yabo from Yerua Rollins Bresso, Yerua for still I be or high the tio. Mahama dear baby bobo in a tria, and an anakufa so the obejan, Yenina, Yahas, Yahas, Yetria. Now, who casa dear way in Aboma 2021, I buy this 35 billion Ghana cedis, and a day. ekotua ekadada eniema na ya Rage Hospital niema kese na aba na omotwam akọ na omaye ne nyina na ya bosia tina na kufu ado a wo se da wonye hwe no Rage Hospital no on na etuaka so what you say na emera muso no ono obekọ aba foforo obeba no ono so eka na kufu ado so abo no ese on so edey eba obedey obetua sanete eti odisika no 35 billion no kokutua ka wo wie na adwumayefo akatua 34 billion uka ne mienu mama yesay 69 menu mienu to ayetua enyina aye 66 aba ne niema mienu wabɔ ho ka de 69 na yete ha ne yetiem ana yenyi kwai aba ne nyesey onko ye dey we can't conjure money from heaven so what I say aba yi ko bobosia pɛ na nkrofo bi asɔre aba no obobosia dodo today ya na aba ya mobosia goods and services anka entimi ntua ye ka goods and services enu bi ne ye chema ministries no to be the Ministry of Health ye adwuma na Sunyani Regional Hospital ye adwuma na aba ye tua dey goods and services amamuo enya de wo ya na nkrofo bi na no ye se afra kwa bi raf ya the watin can say no hunter ye almost say o ma no what can you do ya the man wa there na abaye ti misramu ya amuma mobo enko form kakra na enema esipa o ma meka sa keke ye say uko school free enkrofo am no mu wie school pa o kro bi so ya friend there ma no mu ni ma de papa first say me di first na etimi di be mfie me na me ntimi ni first ye nipa be 5 na na ye pre me feel what me ba be champ presec 1992 be champ presec from form 1 to form 5 me the first sakopem say me wie I never had any competitor be champ presec so what I say if you work on almost baby am ko bia no I'm either the best student or among the best so for na me no mu wie school e wo there ma no me na me no ka say omu nyina dodo na no ma petition ewu enti imagine say Saturday e wo free SHS and omu ko bia e dey na nka asi Eden nkasi. Oh, eti abane ye niema pa. National Health Insurance eni ho na nipa ewu o Ghana basabasa na nya agro. Ena Ghana on average no ye say we ye ba utimi nyini eduru 66 years. First na we form kra. So what you say? Sabin previous ye ma no kro mo nyema. Hospital kwa no mo nko. Ansa na National Health Insurance de eba. Eti niema asisi. Sunyani hanye se ne na hate. Ena me ba ha chekakra me be hu ha ha asesa kra eniema asisi eniema ekoso
me da say okay doc
me fa ka krabi so it said the doc kind no say me de bia me ka say free senior high school in whatever form of shape no we should embrace it me de me nyi you but I'm saying this the young ones na motehano mana mukosu mu say maduane enye denti no mubu afu no munti na meka sa asem in fact ananu ya in 2003 ewo Christ the King Senior High School Obuase there was a young man there because of 23 Ghana cedis he would have been a dropout and that young man is the one speaking to you today. Because of 23 Ghana cedis, he would have been a dropout from school. Because in 2003, there was nothing like free senior high school. Na a registration fee. Me papa say wo nibi. And yes, biana oboase wo be no so nibi. Indeed, I knew say no nibi. It took the timely intervention of my late uncle, who was a minor in AGE Oboase. And Okoji loan the time no debate. I would have been dropped out from school. I'm telling you this. And today be a many document me kase me ne bresem. And today say obi tia no kase okosu aduane e de man nya ne da na mente. Hwe then time na 23 Ghana cedis ntin kame ye drop out no. Na ye ma aduane o. Then time samuni mo bo ase aduane e mo ne nkwan. Ti ye kodi mo nya mo ne nkwan e de o. Na omode gari ni beans omatie egum se ekodi na no pa be 10 na eno na edi close until around 4 p.m. wo de otie mo aduane anopa awia na enwumre wo se aduane na nye dentu bu afu me need that access no but yet still come here drop out into me kase say aban anya hwe for the fact that we are implementing free senior high school ene obi a woni maame ana papa betumi akosudi. It is something we should be grateful. And I'm saying this based on my own experience. On say you know the economic value of it. But you must be a co school now. Then time you nya Kumasi Anglican if you obuasi I me obuasi. Now I was say my call a year your friend is saying LA and I mean aggregate 10. And I mean Kumasi Anglican my first choice. Me papa say menyo obi akotena ne nchen we Kumasi dia. Any metumi Kumasi Anglican if say then time na boarding any free. Ubetua oso oni sika enti because me nyo bi nkota ntinti o say me call Christ the King Obuase, which is just like about 30-40 minutes walking distance from where I was born. Enti me first choice from into me anko. But today I'm here. Enti I'm telling you say ene na ye hu free senior high school home faswo. But in about 30 years to come, we will see the true importance and significance of free senior high school. Ghana je founded in 1957. Now 10 years before that, na omen we are a friend in India, see in India. Na India aje founded in 1947. Now we've had 4 industrial revolutions. The 4th one is the 4 IRA, you almost say CIA. We are talking about technology, information technology. Now, the first industrial revolution occurred in the 18th century, between the late 70s to early 80s, specifically in the United Kingdom. That was a brea. Abrofo nyansa pemu discovered the technology, and your friend says steam engine. Because first, we are seeing agriculture. It is steam engine in the power industry. I did done agriculture. Sa breno na ebibi mine do na Ghana crowd now we don't exist as Ghana near free Gold Coast. It is our first industrial revolution. I'm saying this to the young ones. The person mamo history kakra. The first industrial revolution muchefa. Then we had a second industrial revolution, which was in the 20th century. That is the early 1900s. That the major discovery there was the discovery of electricity, hydro energy. And until 1957, time the first president, then they need to do hunu say Ghana ebenya akosombo dam, because that was the era of the second industrial revolution. And only idea na edimu pa. And also yanshede a chefa because sabreno na afena na ye fight for fahudie ye pre-independence until 1957. I think it's 1960 thereabout ye benya akosombo dam. Inti yanshede nya fahu a chefa dodo na wum. And the third industrial revolution occurred in the late 60s to 70s. Now, the third industrial revolution then the discovery of computers. Sabreno, now Ghana na no nya fanhudi, you know. That was the era. Now we are engaged in coup d'etat. Ni true abengu na aban ni true abengu to bekaya. Your first coup d'etat was in 1966. That was the brand now computers. After a unity we are seeing. And also between 1966 and 79 there, na a coup asamon kwa or my Ghana. Into woman Ghana, when ya oman penny be no one in the for you to tap into the third industrial revolution. Now I didn't India sem. Sabreno. Between 1947 to 1966 as some Americano. India, between that period, enya oman penny be to say the yenya Dr. Mahmoud Bamia or so the information technology. And a sa nipana no be person obedi India so no or can say do a reason says ya this way a computer, but ye India for the India computer because our computer no free America neighbor. But ye bema India for no education and training. Say enfie eduasan eduanan tema beba no enye 5 years enye 2 years old. But in about 30 to 40 years time in Ebebano, say ye can information technology in the computer wansama e ye India for the BC and also. Or can say asem no their brain to say ne unyaman for we are almost sereno. Now fast forward, mean example being true. Say na utie young man akasa wo taste for foreign products. Say offer a smartphone. Na opese wo hwehwe bibi wo internet so ade ba ade na wo bo. Ye fra bibi Google meboa. E ho ne search engine na obedi nkan bo ansa na wakopa information. Google no a company enye Indian company, a American company. Na bisa ho say the CEO of Google of Hefa or ye Indian, but company ni American. IBM make a computers asem the technology to develop computers. IBM an American company. Time we discover a computer in India no cry the na net Ghana for. Yes, you just say you build your human capacity. And who is the CEO of IBM, American old company, or your Indian? Adobe, one of the largest software companies in the world, an American company. And who is the CEO of Adobe, American company? He is an Indian. You see, it takes vision and long-term planning. And I bet me the so. But we are focused on the present. So if indeed, say ye pese ye ma ye be wo mono, they won't come and inherit the same mess we have inherited today there. Then we should vote for a candidate who has vision for the next 50 years. Kakra, midija mono medamase.
All right. Another round of applause. Honorable and Super Showa. Pacho, with the bra. Bra. Oh, okay. Honorable Pacho. And just a minute. We'll be here now. We'll be at one point. Because I'm not sure.
I have a quick response to one of our questioners who said that because of the taste. Taste, you know. Adebako would say, I don't think I introduce TVET. TVET now, Bano, I am Sanu Juma, Titiru, and the Titiwon. And the Embrebi Baba, and myself, Momo producing a meatono, said the name Muyano. Sa de bejinemusa sanko said the uko advanced can to be you tikwampuna this or the diploma certificate now say ya certified so betima so trim and sa was so mun ye ni sa wa ha e brebi beba with the introduction of TVET ye benya ne yepe na yen kasa nso yen Ghanaians no so no ese so contribute to be other countries no obo contribute to their quota. China ni enko shop ko say American product da ho Nike etare ho na ya trop ya the same pabwano so da ho made in China hwini ho obeto made in China na odum so de tiakura be pai why odum so sika ne be koni mamu na abo the country edinti no o man kasa mindset no ma develop no say meto me kroma de abo me man ba yan so no ya dwen say be kokoto atade aga na ya me je me nua na o shebi enti me propose na my unique your mindset ade say sesa ne kakra say yeah ne sa ebeboa me na economy so timi atene around nti ehwe ho yi again me brother so eka before why any NEP the Maslok how they can also get funding, isn't it? Since here you know nhyeya ye mampanyini abedi akiri aye e dey say since here you know expatriate companies company like say na omo ye foreign no afino so no mu fa so de ba omo tam ni nyina na omo de call since here nhyeya be ba say omo bejebi. At the same time, taxes na a war or Mudiscane qua yajero. As soon as I know Mudigane, you also better so. I'm a number form so that the bit about track music according to taxi one. Now, tax revenue, no, a beba this interventional agencies who are include NEP, NAGA, and the Manamano. A fee banks and so has the Muninano. Aya, ye scabi the two central banks said the Bayer a bear reserve be among in case of problems, I banks ni face in the bar. At their bomb. Now the banks are saying said the scano as well. And to go to so said the the government is planning say sad to swear better say better so that moment dear. Scientists of a back intervention agencies in the hall. Now most of the Juma. Now challenge all to say somebody says can you Juma near foreign say political money in Tria Nakokem. But I say who says can also a obisica and a few on a day ever. And the horns are saying you dear Huni. Say a G. The year you went for so bar, you betria, not at your cover before a free at the buy. I think it's like a crab to make that all the other.
Thank you very much, Doc. Honorable Asukumi, Paso, Regional Minister did us the honors by opening the discussion for us. You know, Ponying, why? Ponying, na me go pay bibini.
Yo, miniam da sibebre. Eye Abraham paying for akuku dama. Mwenya pepa na motumu ho si wo se mobekọ eye mantama hodo so na mobeboa ya ma yate eye economic situation na siri ye no yedamase pa eye adofo ye hye oha communicators na mpanfo ye hye oha anopa me maame regional minister obaye bibi ejumadi na no enam se na ye gusu ane ye tutu ye nema binti man se dent me antena mu pa ba ni nyina no so na ye jumadi ne ye yontia ena ye dia ba bedu ha yi mejina na namu na yada obi bia ase pa se woso mo baaye na woso aba betie bi eba eye economics a am se sa bia ye no ye communicators no more ha eto da bia bo hu se a group of people will give different figures na ebi so de fofraba entiminu mienu a ana eba eye economics asem a yense da entiase pa yi no ana ye bisa ho se na se hwan kra na e ka nokre no hwan na e ka nokre no na eye pa se eye yempanyimfo a omo de omo akwadiri mu no omo entena nkranko inu mienu yenya akwanya na ana terms ni bia ana yetete wo eye enframa mu no yehunu wo yetin wo TV so no yanya akwanya abisa no mo so tima kire ase pa yi edamase minim se enne ya ye ba ha ya yetimi ba yi ene ya tensem ni bebre nim sa dodo na so ya dwen no niam bia ya teye no yesesa na yempese eno ebeka hanko a empese beka hanko a anyone who sits here becomes a change agent. I end. Me na for phone bi nu a na ye nam a ne ye kɔ ne ye ba ko na ne maame na ye headmistress enti ono de na ne sikasɛm eye bra ye duru form 3 ana ɔmo be kɔ senior high school no na headmistress no eyi ne ba no ɛde ne kɔ Kofodua technical school afi second one so na ne ma mi nsam ye kakra na on so yi ne de nti na ye yi kɔ o de no so awofo mu de no ɛya ne ye yiw na ye de kɔ me twan ya ma ye bie school 1 month ansana o hwa mabusiafo eboabo kakra ma mitimi ɛde ekɔ ɛyɛ twena manfo na enye me de no kura na ye situation I'm person share with you. But me met ma na menim so no so omo ya ade pa no. Yemu 10 credit yentimi anya kwanya anto school no so. Emu 10. Enso no mo ya de pa. Ti bebre ekachi. Se sabre no na enye se bia no mo nya ade o. Na esikasem. Esikasem. Nti se na free SHS no na e wo ho a. Enka na enye sa ha we ne yekomo. Nti adofo say unya president na so unya sa kokoduro no pa say in spite of all the competing needs ebia nka obetim de sika na ye kwan bebre nka me no mienu ebia na ma e be ka say o kwan we yaye we bebre nka obetim de aye nema bebre na so o say me no mienu ye yi edie nti enfa sa sika pudo no nyeden enfa nkosa. Na so wa ban o president na so nya kokodro timi tu sa na mo ya aban bi obi na o hwehwe aban foforo bio na o hwehwe anti mama ye nyina ye nwenwe ho na ye hu se MPP aban se wo hwe nhyehyɛ ya egu akwan mu a sabio ye say managing an economy no ete say ukita kusia onsa we ni hinhin kakra bi a etofam a abo untimi sesa bio nti enafam sa nti say betimi abɔ modern ama economy na timi ayeyi a eye nhyehyɛ ya ye nyina ye betimi de ye ho ato so say sa nhyehyɛ we ya ye de agu akwan mu no emma ye mfie num mfie du ebetimi ama Ghana ye den asesa sa aban no na esi nya gidie wɔ ne mu enye de osori a ebi ohwa de ekoso o Ghana fo omo se yenya scan se yebotom na yedinachi scan no emme se botonum saa keke eyen hyehyɛ ya edigu akwan mu anti megina kakra ya maka so na yadamase minim se o maka bebri a kyerɛ mpanfo yadamase bio na yekɔ no yemwa na moma yenyina yehu se eye MPP aban ene betima sese o man Ghana yadamase bebre
that's it kese be ma MCA honorable Ansu Kumise ene watimi abepon dwumedi nti nyame adoma train be call either Kufuridua or Tamale iti yadamase obia ebae na si 24 mo ho te sei my din do hospital ka munya na ka mo se kuntuane ngwa opanie. I think we are done. So thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for joining us via text messages or WhatsApp. Yadamasi. Nyame aduma e channel pa mo say station name can 6 o'clock news ah. Na say prof and doctor ni pelufoni nyina obi ase wadamasi. We are out of here.